And we're humbled to be a part of that.
He met earlier today with Trump, who has since had Indiana meetings with other finalists. Fox Radio's Jared Halpern live at the GOP convention site in Cleveland.
At least 3 potential running mates have met with Donald Trump in Indianapolis. The presumptive Republican nominee had dinner last night and breakfast this morning with Pence. Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich also made the trip to Indiana. So did Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, a one-time Trump rival, is also thought to be among the shortlisters. A list Trump tells Fox News is down to as few as 2 people. A final decision is expected this week ahead of the Republican convention here Monday. Tomorrow, by the way, delegates on the convention Rules Committee gather, a last effort by some anti-Trump delegates to force a vote on allowing delegates to support an alternative. Lisa.
Well, meantime, Jared, there's word Trump is suing a former staffer for $10 million for breaching a non-disclosure agreement by leaking something to the media. Hillary Clinton says the party of Lincoln is becoming the party of Trump.
And that's not just a huge loss for our democracy. It is a threat to it.
In a speech at the historic Illinois State House on Unity in America, Clinton says Trump's campaign is based on fear and division. Britain's new prime minister moves in at 10 Downing Street.
Following the referendum, we face a time of great national change. And I know, because we're Great Britain, that we will rise to the challenge.
Theresa May is now making a series of cabinet appointments. Records extended on Wall Street. The Dow up 24 points at the bell to 18,371. You're listening to Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
Focus. You need it to run a business, so don't let legal questions distract you. Use LegalZoom instead. Things like lease agreements and employment laws get complicated, but they're part of running a business. That's why LegalZoom built a network of independent attorneys in 48 states. You can rely on them for the legal details without paying by the hour, since LegalZoom isn't a law firm. So focus on growing your business and use LegalZoom for the legal stuff. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
State Department just confirming that a former Guantanamo Bay detainee who was repatriated to Russia in 2004 is now designated as a terrorist, someone who's been fighting in Syria as part of ISIS, also reported to be among a group of suspects tied to the airport bombing in Turkey last month. The family of a black man shot and killed in Memphis last year files a lawsuit.
Lawyers for Darius Stewart's family want $17 million in damages in a wrongful death suit against the city of Memphis and police officer Connor Schilling. Stewart, who was wanted on warrants, including sexual assault, was shot and killed by Schilling last summer.
Shot twice. He shot twice.
A grand jury declined to indict the officer, who said he feared for his life after Stewart resisted arrest, attacked him, and grabbed his duty belt, which holds his gun. Lawyers for Stewart's family say they feel the lawsuit will hold the Memphis Police Department accountable for alleged civil rights violations. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Texas in mourning for its fallen officers. The first 3 of 5 funerals being held today after last week's sniper attack. A day after rallying oil prices plunge after a government report on oil product inventories.
The U.S. Energy Information Administration reporting a smaller than expected drawdown in crude oil and distillates, that's diesel and heating oil, expected to gain about 250,000 barrels, actually were up by more than 4 million barrels. All the oversupply driving prices down about $2 for crude. The only good news, gasoline prices down now to $2.21 a gallon of regular. That's down a nickel in the past week, down 16 cents over the past month, according to our friends at AAA.
Fox Business Network's Jeff Flock at the CME in Chicago. And Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the AC experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to help keep you cool all summer long. Give them a call at 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, chance of thunderstorms continues. Low of 68. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. High 87, low of 64. Friday, mostly sunny. High 81, low of 59. Right now, sunny. 87 feels like 93 in Champaign-Urbana.
Drum roll. It is time for the Tay and J Show. Lonte, Jeremy Warner. Not sure that's a drum roll or drum beat. It is Wednesday, July 13th. We're off and running. It is those 3 days where we don't have much to talk about in sports with the All-Star break. But boy, have we had a lot to talk about around this neck of the woods. And I'm sure you and Carp were all over Jeremiah Tillman yesterday.
I think we've had about 7 hours of Jeremiah Tillman talking this show and this station the last couple days.
7 hours of Jeremiah Tillman, about 10 minutes of Josh Tillman.
Yes, that's right.
I think it's Whitman.
I think it is Josh Whitman.
I think it's Josh Whitman that I keep getting confused. I know they don't look alike.
The names really aren't that similar.
No, they're not. I mean, Whitman and Tillman. Right.
Jeremiah is 4 syllables. Josh is 1.
I don't, but that's out of my head now. I will never. Yes, I will. I'll make that mistake again.
You will do it again. We'll kind of go away from that topic. There are other things going on in sports, but of course it's on top of our mind. And we're going to Ask Jay in the 5 o'clock hour, and I'm sure a lot of people want to talk about Illinois and Jeremiah Tillman and what's next for Illinois. So I'll answer your line questions then. You can send them in on the text line at 359-2255.
When's good one committee?
Or you can tweet. I already got that one. At Jay Warner Scout. We'll get to all of that stuff a little bit later in the show. We are going to talk some baseball today.
Okay.
I had it on last night.
I actually got home last night and watched in fast forward.
Yes.
I mean, I stopped at key moments. Chris Bryant's bomb.
Yes.
I stopped in
Chris
key moments.
Sale does give up bombs.
Yep, he does.
So, good moment for Cubs fans.
Right.
It was a good moment for me because Chris Sale got out of the game healthy.
Amen.
Jose Quintana pitched.
Yep.
It's not just the White Sox who screw him over. There was an error. He almost gave up runs. And the AL scored no runs after Jose Quintana got in the game. So it made sense. It all worked out for Jose Quintana. But as a White Sox fan, I was just like, get out, get healthy.
Get out. Yeah, Ned Yost. I mean, you're a big fan of Ned Yost because they interviewed him, second or third inning. I stopped to listen to that, and he's like, hey, I'm going to throw those guys out there. And I loved what Chris Sale said. Let's go eat for an inning. Yeah. I mean, let's just go out for one inning and eat.
It terrified me.
Well, right.
Because it's like, I'm going to throw 102 miles an hour and throw out my arm.
Oh, and it's scary every time you watch him throw. Right. But it was cool. It was very cool. It was a cool atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the moments I think people remember is Big Papi getting his moment to come off. I would have rather Jose Fernandez pitch to him.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wanted to see that.
I agree.
I'd rather see Papi against one of the best young pitchers in the game and let him try and get a hit. He roped one.
Oh, my goodness.
Down the first base line.
Rizzo made a great play.
So there were some nice moments in that game, but I just kind of had it on.
Yeah,
it's kind of passing interest, but that's me. Like, when I'm a kid, to see Chris Sale would have been a lot cooler.
Oh,
right?
It's awesome.
And I think for most Cubs fans, that was a cool night.
Yeah,
that was
the entire infield.
That was a really cool night for Cubs fans, and especially with Bryant hitting that home run. Rizzo makes a play. You get to see Addison Russell a couple at bats. So, things like that. Like, that's a cool night because I remember back in 2006 when the White Sox had like 5 All-Stars. That was cool because it's like, hey, we're kind of the story here.
Yeah.
The Cubs were the story last night.
I think inner Lon or younger Lon still comes out a little bit when you see that Cardinal uniform. When I saw Matt Carpenter in the dugout and then I saw Diaz come up to bat, and that was a tough at bat. He was up with the bases loaded, but it's still kind of exciting to see the bird on the bat along with the other uniforms out there.
Was Ledme just trying to screw over the Cubs there?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think, listen, we know what we're doing.
We're Cubs fans, I wonder, because
he did get a bad call on that 1-0 count.
I was wondering if Cubs fans are really upset that the NL lost.
So. I don't think you are. I remember the one year that I thought the Cardinals, and I think they did ultimately get to the World Series, and I remember thinking, come on, let's win this game. And I think it was Josh Harrison, or was it a former Cub? No, you know what? It was the kid who is the guy that played for the Cubs, and he played
Castro
all
was
over.
The All-Star.
Not Castro, it was another guy. I'll think of it. He was an outfielder. But anyway, he had, I think, the game-winning hit that ended up having the Cardinals host the World Series that year. And I remember thinking during the game, I'm like, well, It would be nice to go ahead and host 4 of the games.
Yeah.
Instead, I mean, it is kind of a big deal, but I assume when you're going through it.
Just sweep the World Series Cubs.
Exactly. Hey, the Royals did their job, right? Hosmer and all those kids did their job.
And they beat up on their former teammate, Johnny Cueto, as well.
That's right. I forgot they were former teammates. The one thing I did enjoy, and this is back in my day, and that's Rod Carew and Tony Gwynn. I know that's probably going to sound a little goofy to say, well, you're the Tony Gwynn National League batting champ every year, but I thought it was a nice honor for Gwynn, of course, who's passed away, and for his family.
Especially in San Diego, where he grew up.
Yep.
Another cool moment that happened this week that we didn't talk about yesterday and the day before because of the Jeremiah Tillman news, but Chris Sale came out and he wasn't even asked the question. He used to be a big chewer, like chewing tobacco guy, smokeless tobacco guy. When Tony Gwynn died, he quit.
Right. I think a lot of people did.
He quit, and he said that was the reason. He wanted everybody to know that. So Chris Sale became a spokesman against smokeless tobacco, and I think that's really important because baseball for the longest time really enabled it.
Oh, right? They did. I mean, without a doubt.
They made it look cool when all your baseball players have a big chaw in their mouths.
No doubt.
And it's everybody's personal decision. You can do that. But I think it's important for a major leaguer like that to say, this is dangerous. I was endangering myself. And I'm an example for some people.
Sure.
I don't know if that mattered more or just his personal safety mattered more, but I think it's good to have that kind of
I think it is too.
Spokesperson.
I mean, Jeremy, if you're 45 like I am, you're set in your way, whether you chew or not. If
it's
you're
your
your age,
decision.
you've probably, at your age, I'm not saying you do. Obviously you don't. But I mean, at your age, I'm sure you're set in your way, guys are, and hopefully you can quit. But if you're a 16-year-old, if you're Lucas Tay, let's say, who's 16 years old, and maybe you hear something like that and you understand that. I can remember when I was young and guys they'd go in when I was young, they were smoking in the dugout.
we had Big League Chew growing up.
Right. And that was
that
cool.
delicious gum you'd stuff in your mouth and be like.
And I always wondered about that too, because it's almost like, I understand it's gum, but it's almost like you're doing exactly what, it's like it's getting the pattern down.
Exactly what it is. Just like the candy cigarettes.
Absolutely, which I love.
Delicious.
Oh, I still love those things. I still love them. But it is true, and that is cool that Chris Sale did that. It's unfortunate for Tony Gwynn, obviously, that happened, but it was a neat moment, and you're right. I think if it affects one kid, if Chris Sale affects one kid, then what he did was the right thing to do.
Lon, I never thought another athletics program would have a worse, more turbulent year than Illinois.
Wow.
Now, Minnesota gave Illinois a run for its money.
Yes,
its AD was fired for sexual harassment. Its football coach stepped down midseason due to health issues.
Sure.
And they had multiple off-the-court transgressions, including some very interesting off-the-court things with men's basketball. But now Missouri, I think by far takes the cake.
I think so.
What a weird, turbulent year it's been for Missouri. Their basketball program was on a postseason ban, which didn't matter because they only won 10 games.
Right.
Their football season, their longtime head coach stepped down due to health reasons.
Unfortunately.
All the racial tension on that campus last year. They don't have a president. They don't have a chancellor.
Wow.
And now they don't have an athletics director as Mack Rhodes left Missouri after one season.
Wow.
And for Baylor, of all places, he left Missouri
to go to that Hornet's Nest?
To
Baylor.
go to Baylor. Now, he's a Texas native.
Okay.
He went to Houston. He was the Houston AD, hired Tom Herman there. Okay. So obviously Baylor's got a lot of money.
Sure.
A lot of resources there. But he left Missouri's issues he thought probably were bigger than Baylor's.
Wow. That's scary, isn't it? And if you look at that Missouri, now I'm not going to sit here and act like I know how the women's softball program is at Missouri, which actually is pretty good, I think, every year under Earl Wine, who used to play fast pitch. But I'm not going to lie and tell you that I know everything about Missouri sports. But the main sports, I mean, basketball is horrible right now, and I don't see it getting better under Kim Anderson.
Yeah,
in
Kim
the next
Anderson's
few.
probably going to get fired.
I think he's there for another year, and then you're gone. I would assume. And then football, when you lose your longtime coach, I mean, that's a blow to that. And I know they've got a new guy in there that was with the program.
Yeah, and I don't think Barry Odom's in immediate trouble.
That's who it
I mean,
is,
he's a good coach.
Yeah.
He's unproven as a head coach.
Sure.
And I think if you're Illinois, the football staff, there's a big opportunity down there in Missouri because of the unrest in that program. You know, Barry Odom's like the face of that not just the athletic department, but the university right now. There's no leadership there. Remember, at least Illinois had a president.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And they don't have a chancellor. They don't have an AD now. They don't have a president down there. And Barry Odom sitting there at SEC Media Days. and he learns about it last night before SEC Media Day started.
Unbelievable.
So he's getting asked all those questions now instead of selling his football program, all that. I don't know if it's going to make recruits not go there.
Sure.
But it definitely doesn't help him.
No, I agree.
Because I think he'll be there a couple years and have his chance, but that's difficult to step into that. But Missouri, they have some serious issues, and we're hoping to talk with Austin Kim, formerly of WCIA. He works TV down in Columbia. Couldn't join us today because of all the news that's breaking, but maybe we can get him on tomorrow.
Well, and it comes down to this, and I think we talked a lot about this. While Illinois always had the president, they didn't have the chancellor, still don't. And I think when all of that was going on with all the off the field issues going on with all the sports, it seemed like, we sat there and talked about leadership. Where are you getting your leadership from? Well, at least you had your president that you could, at least the buck stops here, in other words. But if you're at Missouri now and you don't have all of the above, plus you lose your AD, now if you're a athlete or if you're a possible recruit going there, maybe that doesn't make the ultimate decision. I hope it wouldn't. I hope you're not going to a school
it's
because
usually
of the
about
AD.
relationships
Correct.
with the coaches. Yeah.
But I think it would show you that things are a little bit in turmoil.
Right.
That it would tell me as an athlete that, okay, this guy was there 1 year and he's bailing ship.
Might give you pause.
You're right. That's exactly right. And sometimes that's all that matters. If it's a fine-tuned recruiting battle between Missouri and, let's say, Texas, that might be the thing that matters.
Or Missouri and Illinois.
All right.
Right? I mean, you got Lovie Smith here.
Oh, it's a perfect
with
time
a
to take
6-year
advantage.
contract with Josh Whitman behind you. He just got here. They're all on the same page while Missouri's kind of in this unrest like Illinois.
Who recruits the St. Louis area? I know it was always the wide Mike Bellamy, right?
Thad Ward.
Okay.
Recruits there a lot. I mean, Lovie himself knows that area pretty well. But
oh, that's right, because he was the defensive coordinator.
That staff has made St. Louis a priority. That's why they had a satellite camp inside the city.
Got it.
They could have done it right outside the city and been a little, on the Illinois side of the river, and just organizationally it would have been a lot easier, but they did it in the city because they wanted to get to those of prospects.
That's
and they opened up some eyes there.
Absolutely. And Barry Odom, you'd have to give Lovie Smith the advantage with regards to going into a recruit and sitting down. They're going to know Lovie before they know Barry Odom, I would assume. Yeah. Nothing against Barry Odom. There's a lot of coaches that fall into that category, but you're right. Now's the time to strike down there, and hopefully Lovie can do that, plus start winning, and then all of a sudden you've turned St. Louis into kind of your own.
Lante got to work today. Started booking some people.
I did.
It's a big day for Lante on the Tay and J Show. Lon got Mike Claiborne on the show at 4:05. We had to put him off a couple days because of the Tillman news, but he's going to join us, talk some Cardinals baseball at 4:05. But we're going to talk with a Major League Baseball player. Cool. An Urbana native, born here in Urbana, spent some time here in college at Parkland College. Spencer Patton, Cubs reliever, is going to join us here in about 12-15 minutes.
I think that's cool, isn't it? I started thinking of that. I'm like, hey, we're going to have a Major League Baseball player on our show. I'm not sure we've ever had that.
I think so.
Have we had a Major League Baseball player? I mean, we've had guys that were close. Charlie Tilson, who is going to probably be in the bigs one day. The one guy we've got to get is the kid from Parkland now with Tampa.
Kevin Kiermaier.
Kiermaier would be a great interview, and maybe one day we'll try to get him as
He's injured. He's not doing anything.
Right. Well, he could join us. Come on.
I want to tell Spencer, you got two guys in the pros from Parkland.
Right.
I mean, he went to SIU as well, but he went to Parkland first. There's two guys from Parkland. There's only one from Illinois.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Tanner Rourke.
That's unbelievable. And that speaks to what Parkland's baseball program has always been. Since I was a young kid, Parkland's baseball team. But I'm excited to talk to Spencer. It's been a cool road for him, the fact that he lands with the Cubs. He was doing a lot of AAA, doing some great things down there as their closer, then gets the call up now to the Cubs when it could be a magical year, and he could have a part in that. And I assume even if he's not on the roster come postseason, the fact that he's playing with the team now, I assume would guarantee him a ring if it happens.
Yeah,
I know I'm getting ahead of ourselves here, but for Spencer Patton,
this
has to be a little
Cardinals
bit of
fans say that.
I know, I'm totally trying to hex them as much as I can. I'm excited though for Spencer. I think he's excited to join our show, and we tried to get him when he was with Texas, and now with the Cubs, it's even better. So excited to talk to him at 3:30.
He's a guy that's 28 years old.
Right.
He made his major league debut, I think, at 26. Okay. So this is a guy who took a longer road to get there.
Sure.
I mean, I find it always fascinating. You talk with a guy like Drew Dickinson, the Illinois pitching coach, who was in the minors for 6-7 years.
Wow.
I mean, for a lot of these guys, you don't get to this level.
No.
Right? I mean, the Chris Bryants of the world, they're going to get there. The Addison Russells of the world, they're going to get there. The Anthony Rizzos, whatever it is. There's a lot of minor leaguers that just dream of getting there.
Sure.
And Spencer's gotten there, but it was a climb, right? It was a grind, and I'm sure I want to ask him just, where's the moments where you're just sitting there like, this ain't going to happen.
This isn't going to work.
This ain't going to happen.
And like anything in life, and if it's getting to the Major League Baseball or just doing whatever you do at your job or getting an A on a test, you earn it, and it feels better. And I think for Spencer, I'm sure it feels great for whomever. Addison Russell, or let's say Chris Bryant, I'm sure it feels great for him to be in the bigs. But for a kid like Spencer Patton that's worked his way all the way up to that, it's got to feel almost even better for him because he knows that it wasn't given to him, and he had to earn his way.
We'll talk with him at 3:30. Mike Claiborne, 4:05. We'll do Is This a Big Deal?
Okay.
We'll play that game a little bit later. We'll take our number 3 contestant in the Take and E contest later today. Your chance to win a $1,500 credit to Christopher and Company in downtown Champaign. Yeah, that's all you need. If you're going to propose your fiance, you might want to take part in this thing later on. We'll also do Ask Jay. Send your Illini questions in. You can always call us or text us on the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line or the Chief Bauer text line at 217-359-2255. That's 359-2255. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. I tweet at Jay Warner Scout.
At Lonte, ESPN, CU.
Download the WSJK app. You can watch us live on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Tay and J Show. You can get the stream there. Get the podcast, ESPNCU.com, or find us on iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS Insurance. Sports Center updates. Nathan DeSutter, you'll hear him next. And Brendan Wierzinski is our intern today.
Brendan sent out a quick note. Record low ratings for the All-Star game last night. 10.9 was last year. 8.7 this year for the All-Star game.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. You would think with a big city like Chicago so represented.
I think Chicago.
It's a major market.
Obviously Chicago and Boston were really representative. There wasn't a lot of L.A. guys.
No, you're right. New York guys, there wasn't a lot. There were a couple pitchers, right, for the
Yankees. A couple Mets, but not
a couple.
Yankees, big guys there weren't. I don't know.
Interesting.
I think baseball, the All-Star game, in general, I just think baseball is such a regional sport.
It is. Totally.
Everyone talks about baseball as a third sport. Well, nationally it is.
Sure.
But you talk regionally.
Yes.
I think it's very healthy.
Would agree 100%.
You just see those regional TV deals.
Yep. Well, this is what happens when you put an entire Cubs infield out there. Nobody's going to watch. Wow, was that a zing? Hello, it's the Tay and J Show.
QL1, you've been talking a lot about Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans lately. What would you say is the best reason to use it? It's easy to use. You can get approved in minutes. It's convenient. Hey, QL1, I asked for the best reason. Oh, hold on. I wasn't finished. You can share your pay stubs and bank statements at the touch of a button so you get real numbers, not estimates. And 3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage.
Rocket. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Hi, this is Lori Grenier. You've seen me on Shark Tank. Throughout my career, I've developed hundreds of innovative products that make people's lives easier. That's what Cabbage does for small business owners. They've developed a simple and flexible way for business owners to access a line of credit of up to $100,000. Apply online or from your phone. You will get a decision in minutes and can start using your funds immediately. Cabbage has provided over $2 billion to 80,000 small businesses like yours. To get started, visit Cabbage.com or call 888-CABBAGE. Make Cabbage your first resort for business funding.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
Have you noticed a change in the air? The days are getting longer and soon we'll be in full club car season. But don't just drive a club car. Check out all the custom accessories at Battery Specialist Plus Golf Cars in Champaign. Everything you need to make a club car statement or build the club car of your dreams just the way you want it. The journey starts at BSPGC.com. Battery Specialist Plus Golf Cars. 133 Kenyon Road just off I-74. Get on the road with a custom club car. BSPGC.com.
With the summer's hottest days ahead, Chief Bauer Service Experts reminds you that if your AC system is more than 10 years old, it may be time for a replacement. Because if it fails, you'll get hot, and you might think about doing weird things to cool off, like building a fort inside the fridge. Instead, call Chief Bauer Service Experts and save up to $2,600 on a new Lennox home comfort system. Plus, make payments as low as $99 a month with approved credit. You'll save up to 50% on energy bills and have a written 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com.
Love to sing? Join the Champaign Center Partnership and the Urbana Business Association July 21st for the Sing for Your City Karaoke Contest. Sponsored by Cafe Bene and hosted by the Canopy Club. Sing your heart out and represent your city for a chance to win a cash prize. Don't sing? Join in on the fun by cheering on your favorite local performer. Pre-register at urbanabusiness.com for only $15 or register at the door for just $20. Represent your side of Wright Street to win cash. Must be 18 to enter and 21 to drink. No matter what age, braces can give you that beautiful smile you've been hoping for. If you have crooked teeth or a misaligned bite, West Main Dental in downtown Urbana has a variety of treatments that can help straighten your teeth, including braces, Invisalign, and retainers. And right now, West Main Dental is offering $500 off orthodontic services. That's right, $500 off. Call today for a free consultation to get that beautiful smile you deserve. Mention this ad to find out how you can save $500. Some restrictions apply. See office for details. The staff at West Main Dental is well-trained, and they're dedicated in making your orthodontic treatment a memorable and enjoyable experience. Let West Main Dental give you the smile that you deserve. West Main Dental in downtown Urbana, 607-1292, and online at westmaindental.com.
August.
Another strong finish by Phelps.
For the first time ever.
And it's a Gabby goal.
The spirit of the Olympic Games comes to life.
Usain Bolt still the king of the 100.
In one of the world's most dazzling cities, Rio. The one event that unites the world. The 2016 Olympic Games from Rio. Beginning August 5th on NBC.
Nobody plays more country music per hour than US 105.9, where they start every workday with 3 hours of continuous country. US 105.9 is a proud sister station to ESPN Radio 93.5.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-519-7796. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-519-7796.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What'll he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It's time for the update. Today is no sports day, except for one UFC fight. Otherwise, there are no live sporting events. So to fill the void, the ESPY Awards are tonight live in L.A. Deflategate isn't over. The case of Tom Brady deflating footballs in the AFC Championship game back in the spring of 2015 is now on day 542. Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphrey's marriage lasted 72 days, and the divorce was finalized after 536. Today was announced his 4-game suspension that was planned for last year before being overturned will be upheld in the 2016 season following a denied appeal in court. Former Eastern Illinois quarterback and Arlington Heights native Jimmy Garoppolo will get the starting role in Brady's absence. Brady's only course of action left is to take the case all the way to the Supreme Court. MLB, the AL won last night's All-Star game 4-2, but the score ended up being Royals 4, Cubs 1. Chris Bryant slugged the homer off Chris Sale on the first pitch he saw for the first run of the game, a pitch that reportedly might have been grooved. According to ESPN Cub reporter Jesse Rogers, Chris's dad Mike ran into Sale 2 days before the game and told him to stop striking out my kid. Give him something to hit, a nice cookie or something.
What?
Yeah. Sale didn't affirm or deny anything. Said it's the third batter of the game. You throw a first pitch fastball. We didn't look at scouting reports or anything like that. In the second, Royals Eric Hosmer and Salvador Perez knocked homers off the Giants' Johnny Cueto and propelled the AL to a 3-1 lead. They never looked back, and Hosmer added another RBI single in the later innings to earn himself the All-Star MVP. For his award, Hosmer got the choice between a Chevy truck or a Camaro. He took the truck and gave it to his dad so his dad would stop stealing all his cars. He had a Ford F-150 Harley-Davidson. He never left it, and he left it at home one year, said Papa Hosmer, and he never got it back. Bad news for Cub fans. Noah Syndergaard will be available for his next start post-All-Star break in Chicago, dealing with arm fatigue in his last start. And also, batting titles renamed the Tony Gwynn and Rock Crew Awards. That's pretty cool.
Without a doubt. Thank you, Nathan. Hey, this Saturday, here they come again. It's Bunny's Parking Lot Party. Local band Jeremy, I think we know him. Decadence.
Amistad.
Yeah, baby. Decadence. That's Mike Carpenter. Free show. Music starts at 7. Come early, enjoy the great weather, and support an awesome cause with the Prairie Dragon Paddlers, sponsored by Christie Clinic. Fundraiser begins at 4. A 50-50, also a silent auction supporting the breast cancer support group. Then stick around for local rock band Decadence. That is Mike Carpenter. If you've never seen him, this is your shot at Bunny's this Saturday. Bunny's Parking Lot Party this Saturday, 7 o'clock. It's free show from Decadence.
It is the Tay and J Show. He's Lante. I'm Jeremy Warner.
Just me.
Day after the All-Star game. We will get to a little bit. Do you want to talk about Deflategate?
The only reason I even want to talk about it is that Arizona plays the Patriots week 1. So it actually means something to me. I don't want Brady. I don't want him playing week 1, although Garoppolo may just light us up.
If you have fantasy leagues that award points based on handsomeness,
right,
Jimmy Garoppolo is the pick.
Take either one of the Patriot quarterbacks.
What he's going to be good at is getting rid of the ball quick.
Yes.
And short, get Julian Edelman.
Yep.
That's what he's going to be very good at. I think they'll be fine for the first 4 weeks.
I do too.
You don't get Brady hurt the first 4 weeks. Now he's going to appeal this to the Supreme Court.
Wow.
And that's going to be interesting that an NFL player is going to take a case to the Supreme Court. That'll be really interesting.
It should be interesting. And it'll be interesting to me. Like, a lot of times you sit there and you think, oh, is it the quarterback? Is it the system? Now, I think Tom Brady is an unbelievable quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But it will be interesting to see when another quarterback gets in that system, for instance, the first 4 weeks, if Garoppolo is the guy, and if he's putting up big numbers and doing what Tom Brady does. Because let's be honest, Brady is not one of those guys that's just going to fire it down the field a lot. He does, and he's got a great over-the-top throw that he's got touch on. But a lot of times it's just a quick throw. He's not going to elude pass rushers. He wants to get the ball out of his hand quick, and I think Garoppolo fits that system perfect.
Yeah, Wes Lunt did a lot of studying of Tom Brady, and I think he did it pretty well last year when he didn't have many playmakers around him. He won again this year.
Yeah, right.
But Brady does a really good job within the pocket of evading pass rush, but he also does a very good job of getting rid of the ball quickly.
Sure.
And that makes his offensive line, which hasn't been that good. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers. Those offensive lines have been terrible with those quarterbacks, but they've still found a way to get it done. Then Brady's just ridiculously smart.
and accurate.
Ridiculously smart and accurate, and he finds a way to get the ball to his receivers. So, people talk all the time about, is he a system quarterback? Would he have succeeded elsewhere? Well, you could do that with a lot of guys in the NFL.
Right.
Terrell Davis, would he have been as good, not in that Broncos one-cut scheme?
Good point.
Well, he was, and it all worked out. And for some guys it does. But Tom Brady, I think, would have been good anywhere, but with Bill Belichick, he and those two did really well. Dan Marino, would he have been as good without Don Shula?
That's true. And with Duper and Clayton and those guys that he had to throw to, but that system certainly fit a guy like Dan Marino and that big arm of his. Are you ready for the NFL? I'm not. I'm usually getting, and it's weird because Arizona's good. So about this time every year, I'm getting to that point where I'm like, all right, I'm kind of excited about Arizona Cardinals football. I'm kind of excited about the NFL rolling around. I think I'm more excited about Illinois football this year than NFL football.
Yeah, you know me. The NFL's kind of worn me out with the off-season stories that they've had the last couple years. So it's really worn me out. I'm not ready for ESPN and everybody else only to talk about this because I think baseball is fascinating.
Sure.
But the national media doesn't care much about baseball.
Right.
They'll still talk about Durant, and then they'll talk about Cowboys stories that I just don't care about.
I'm with you.
I don't care about it. I mean, it's not till September, October until I start playing games where I'll really, really be interested in it. I mean, from a Bears perspective, it's a little interesting.
Sure.
Because you get year 2. This is kind of where you can take your step forward. But all of the NFL, the waves of coverage we're going to get from the national media on it, no, I'm not looking forward to. Because on a local scale, I'm more interested in the Cubs.
Yes.
I'm more interested to see what the Cardinals and White Sox, if they can find a way into the wild card. And I'm way more interested in Illinois basketball recruiting and Illinois football. That training camp interests me, even though I cover them, a lot more than the Bears.
I'm with you. I'm with you on this. And by the way, we're going to do Ask Jay today at 5:25. Get your Illinois questions in. I mean, mainly it's focused more on basketball and football, but Jeremy will tackle any Illinois sport. You can do that by texting the Chief Bauer text line at 217-359-2255. You can also tweet at Jeremy, and that's at J Warner Scout. We're in the process of efforting Spencer Patton. So hopefully get the Cubs reliever on here pretty quick on our show.
If you want to weigh in, you can. 359-2255. That's 217-359-2255. College football is moving the semifinals from New Year's Eve. Bill Hancock said the college football playoff is considering moving the playoff semifinals from New Year's Eve. The college football playoff's executive director said the move could happen no sooner than after the 2018 regular season.
Okay.
He said, quote, "We're exploring if there's a better date for the semifinals. We're thinking about if New Year's Eve is the way to go."
Okay. I'm trying to remember this last year. Was I bothered by that? I couldn't remember. Yeah, you were, right?
Because I went to a party.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Obviously, those games sucked.
Well, right.
Last year's
Yeah,
college
they
football
did.
semifinals.
They did.
But I had other plans.
Sure.
Right? I mean, New Year's Eve is not for sports.
No. Amen.
It's not for sports.
Amen.
And even for me, a diehard sports fan, like that's not number one of my thing.
Correct.
Like now when I have a kid, maybe that'll change a little bit.
Right, you'll be at home.
But like I was out with my friends. Like I was more concerned about talking with them than watching the college. We had it on,
yes,
but I couldn't fully engage in it because I was more concerned with being with my friends who I rarely ever see.
Is that just total cockiness by college football to say, you know what, we're going to throw it on New Year's, even though everybody's got plans? We're this good. People are going to watch us by doing that. But I'm with you here. I'm with you on this with regards to that.
Let's get to the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line and talk. We got to figure out, is this the first Major League Baseball player?
I think it is.
Even like former, have we ever had it? Because no, we've talked to the Cardinals guys. Does that count?
Well, we've had them, but not on the show. Right. They have. We just done interviews and such with them when they were here for the Cardinal Caravan. But Spencer Patton's going to get that title. He's got it, man, and he's joining us now on the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line. Spencer Patton, Cubs reliever. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Well, good. We appreciate you spending your All-Star break, a little bit of it, with us. I guess that'd be my first question. What does a major leaguer? What do you do during the All-Star break?
Lots of R&R.
I bet.
Well, I'm trying to anyway, apart from running around chasing my little son around.
How old's your son, Spencer?
He'll be 2 in September.
Awesome.
Wow. Got any advice? I'm about to have a baby boy in about a month. Any advice for me?
Rack up on your sleeve now. That's my advice.
Nice.
Everybody tells you that, and Spencer's, listen, he's right in the heart of things right now, and he's even telling you that.
Spencer, Spencer,
we're actually about to have another one too.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, you're born in Urbana. You went to Farina High School. I got to admit, I had to look that up.
Yeah, Farina.
Yep. See, I even say it wrong. Just south of Effingham. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing in Central Illinois here.
As you can imagine, Farina is, as small as it sounds. I actually was born in Urbana, raised in Tuscola for a little bit, and then moved to Kinmundy, Illinois, which is just a little bit south of Farina. It's in the South Central School District, and so that's a few towns that go to one school, Farina, South Central, and a couple others. But, I mean, it was just typical for, small town growing up. Played multiple sports, knew everybody, kind of got along with most people, and just hunting and fishing and doing the easy life.
Yeah, exactly. Darren Kennard, of course, a buddy of mine, is a Kinmundy kid as well. I'm sure that you know Darren. Now, Jeremy always laughs growing up that Tanner Rourke struck him out and ended him with baseball. So how many guys did you end their baseball career, Spencer, because they couldn't hit you?
I'm not quite sure. All I get is people coming back saying, "Hey, I got a hit off you. I got a home run off you." I don't really get it. Too many people saying, "You struck me out," and that was the end of it.
Well, hey, that's a good thing that they're saying, "Hey, I got a hit off that guy." Spencer Patton, Cubs reliever, joining us now. You spent a year at Parkland here, and you do have something over Illinois. Lon mentioned Rourke. He's the only Illini there. It's you and Kevin Kiermaier. So Parkland kind of produced some good guys. I know you went on to SIU, but what do you remember most about your year at Parkland?
I actually spent two years at Parkland. We had a great two teams when we were there. We didn't quite make it as far as we were pegged to, but we had some great teams, and I enjoyed my time there. I was a big Illinois fan growing up as a kid, so I got to go to some of the Illinois football and basketball games while I was there, and kind of be a part of that. But I really enjoyed Parkland a lot. I got to meet a bunch of new people, and some people I knew already from Tuscola went there too. So it was just kind of like a reunion with those people. But I really enjoyed that school. I thought it was a great fit for me.
I bet. It's not every day you have a Major League Baseball player on the Tay and J Show. Spencer Patton, Cubs reliever, joining us here on the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line. Lante, Jeremy Warner. I want you to take us back to the moment, Spencer, that you were traded from the Rangers to the Chicago Cubs. What was that like for an Illinois native to make the move from the Rangers to that Cubs system?
It was pretty unexpected, actually. It was in November, and I was actually in my deer stand that morning, and I got a telephone call from a Texas number, and I normally don't pick up my phone in the deer stand, so I looked down and saw it was from Texas, and thought it was pretty important, so I figured I better pick it up, and it was one of their front office guys telling me that I'd been traded to the Chicago Cubs. And it was funny just because the night before I was at a friend of mine's house. It was actually my junior high baseball coach. I was having dinner at his house with our families, and he's a diehard Cardinals fan, and the subject got brought up. I said, what are you going to do if I ever get traded to the Cubs? And he said, well, I guess we'll just have to cross that road when it comes. And lo and behold, the next morning I get a phone call saying I was traded to the Cubs.
Wow.
So I had to call him and bust his chops about it. Let him know that he was that we were just talking about it.
Are you a Cardinals fan?
I was growing up, yeah. But you can put all that aside as soon as you enter the Pro Bowl.
I was going to say, is it once you get the paycheck from them that you become a Cubs fan, or you just don't need to throw that aside?
Like I said, when you get into Pro Bowl, your loyalties become, like you said, to whoever pays your bills.
That's right. Well, some guys take the fast track, Spencer. Others, like we've talked to Drew Dickinson, the Illini pitching coach here, and he was in the minors for about 6-7 years, trying to make his dream come true. Others have to slowly grind that out. Mm-hmm. Is there moments, or can you take me to a moment where you thought it wasn't going to happen, or you knew you were going to eventually get to this level?
It seemed like the first 2 years I repeated rookie ball when I was with the Royals, and after that second year of going back to the lowest level of the minor leagues, it was just like, this is going to take me years to get there. And at that level, you're making pennies, and mm-hmm. I was married and had an apartment in St. Louis, and we were talking about having kids, and it's just like, I'm losing money here playing ball, so something's got to happen. Something's got to click. I need to start playing better or separate myself somehow to get me up the ladder. And it was after that second year in rookie ball, I went back to spring training the following year and had a great year, and I ended up skipping low A and going to high A, and finished the year in AAA. So it was that quick for me, but at first it seemed like it was going to take 10 years for me to even get to AAA. But it's just, baseball's a weird sport. It's being the right guy in the right spot.
A lot of us have to think of Crash Davis, right. in that movie when we think of minor league baseball. Was there like a most minor league moment for you, whether it was a promotion somebody was doing, riding the bus? Was there anything like that sticks out?
Oh, man. A lot of those moments came in rookie ball. My second year was just, like I said, I was already in a place of like, man, I got to get something going here. I can't go through another year here. But our bus seemed to break down almost every road trip. And we had to get off the side of the highway and stand there and wait for it to cool down and then get back on and go another 20 miles and and then it would overheat. So, some of those stories, you see a lot of those movies like you're talking about in Bull Durham and some of those stories. Some of those stories are actually played out in real life, and it's kind of funny, especially with the travel and the hotels, showing up in the hotel lobby in the morning after a long bus trip and your rooms aren't ready, so you got everybody sleeping in the lobby.
I can't imagine.
You get into the field and your uniforms are soaking wet because they haven't dried out from the night's game before. Some of that stuff still goes on, and it's just comical, and kind of a friendly reminder that you're still in the minor leagues.
Hey, man, and I assume it's one of those things that makes you really appreciate when you make it to the big leagues, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. All that stuff's taken care of. When you get to the big leagues, you're almost pampered a little bit, and so you really appreciate, where you came from. You're like, man, it seems like a year ago I was, having to dry my own jersey, and now I have two nice, fresh, clean jerseys in my locker and didn't have to do anything. So it definitely humbles you a little bit, but I mean, I think it's part of the minor league system. You're chasing after that dream, and you're pursuing the life of the big leaguer, and I think that's part of it.
Yeah, and he's done it. Spencer Patton, Cubs reliever, joining us here on the Tay and J Show. Now, there's been some struggles with the Cubbies since you've been up, but what do you see from this team, Spencer, that makes you think it can do what no other Cubs team has done, at least in the last 108 years?
Yeah, we have struggled a little bit here as of late, but, I mean, what team doesn't struggle throughout the course of the season? I'm just glad it's happening now, instead of being real high on ourselves all season and then come playoff time we struggle. But
sure,
this team has a lot of energy, some fantastic young talent. It's unbelievable to watch guys like Javi Baez out there doing some of the stuff that he's doing. Chris Bryant. I mean, you saw Chris Bryant last night hit the first pitch home run, of the All-Star game. Anthony Rizzo, all those guys bring some high-level energy to the table, and their talent level matches it. So, I mean, it's just a great team to play for. Everybody's getting along. We're having a great time. When you mix that in there with, experience like David Ross and Ben Zobrist, it's unbelievable.
Spencer, a lot of us argue, how much does a manager affect a team during an entire season? Like, does he have a 5-win effect or whatever it is? It's obvious Joe Madden is one of the elite managers, but what makes him different? What sets him apart?
I think Joe is just so laid back and so easy to play for. He doesn't expect you to be a different person. Some of these managers want you to do things that you may not have done, that don't fit who you are. Joe just wants you to be the person that you are. Go out every day and play the game that got you there in the first place. And he doesn't want you to try to impress him or, impress anybody else, but just continue to play the baseball that you know how to play. And he'll organize the team to make it win. And so I feel like Joe is he's such a player's coach.
Yeah.
He doesn't call a lot of meetings. He's not, in the clubhouse with the players a whole lot. He lets the players do their own thing and kind of monitor their clubhouse a little bit. If it gets to the point where he's got to step in, then he'll step in. But luckily we haven't had that happen yet. And, he just leaves it up to the players to kind of monitor themselves. And of course, if they have any issues or are looking for advice, he's always got his door open. He might have to turn down his music a little bit, but he's always there, ready to talk to his players and give advice. But he's not in your face with stuff to do, and he's just sitting there waiting, for us to come to him, basically. So he's very laid back and he's one of the best managers I've ever had.
Grateful Dead, is that what he's playing? Like, what's he playing?
Oh, he's playing all kinds of 70s and 60s music, which my parents raised me up on that, so I appreciate every time I walk by his door.
Spencer Patton, Cubs reliever. A few more moments with Spencer. Kind enough to take some time out during the All-Star break. Yeah. The one thing about Madden, he likes to have a little fun, and that included putting you in the outfield, I think, for the first time in about a decade. Who is the best outfielder out of you starting pitchers who played out there? I think it was Strope, you, and Travis Wood.
Travis Wood, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident that I can hold my own against those three guys, or those other two guys. I was pretty confident that day, too. I was actually power shagging during batting practice and made some pretty nice grabs out there. So I was pretty confident anything coming my way I was gonna make a play on. But yeah, it was. You're right. I hadn't played any position in probably 10 years, and so when he told me I was going to the outfield, it kind of took me a minute to register that a little bit.
Right.
But I mean, it makes sense. You look back on it, and he really didn't have any other options, and looking back, it made a little sense as what he was doing, and he's got, those years of experience and expertise under his belt, so he knows what he's doing.
Spencer, obviously there's about 20 guys on that roster who know they're going to be there. But for the guys at the end of the roster, I mean, you just got called up a couple weeks ago. What's that like, and how much pressure do you feel on that? And just what have you thought about your time at the major league so far? How do you feel you're doing?
I feel like I'm doing okay. I've been put in some tough situations since I've been up, some situations that I hadn't been put in AAA. And so it's been a little bit of a grind for me to battle through those situations, but I think I've done okay. I've handled myself pretty well. But I used to put a lot, like last year I was a yo-yo guy up and down all the time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I put a lot of pressure on myself last year to do well every time out and to do, basically like I was trying to earn a spot on the team. And that's just, not the case. That I'm there for a short amount of time to help and until my time's up. And so I put a little added pressure on myself last year, which kind of hurt me and made me pitch not quite to my abilities. But that's the beauty about Joe, like I was saying earlier. Yes. That was one of the first things he said to me in camp was, I don't want you to feel as if, you got a lot of pressure when we call you up or you come up and down. Just come up and do what we've asked you to do and do what you can, and everything else will work itself out. So just having his confidence in that and has really settled me down, and I feel like I've taken the roles that they've asked me to do and performed to the best that I could.
Yeah, that's got to be huge to have a coach say that. Spencer, last one from me. I've got a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old. They both played baseball. They both play baseball. I've coached before at this level. What is some advice that you would give for young pitchers that are maybe not 9, but guys in the high school range working their way up? What advice would you give those kids?
I get that question a lot.
I bet.
And it is a good question because, a lot of, especially in high school, you see a lot of these high school kids getting drafted throwing 97, 95. Right. And a lot of these high school kids are trying to get stronger, trying to throw harder. And I always tell the kids that ask me that, I always tell them to don't try to be somebody that you're not.
Nice.
If you don't throw 97, don't try to throw 97. Perfect what you already have, and when you get older and stronger, that velo will start to steadily increase. But don't try to be a guy that you're probably not right now. Just go out there and work on command and changing speeds and work on your off-speed pitches and commanding all of that stuff. Because I think in the end, coaches want, especially college coaches, they want guys that they can have confidence in to go out and throw strikes and not walk the bases loaded. And those guys that come out of high school throwing 100 and 95 or higher or whatever, those guys are very rare. Sure. Those guys, not everybody can be those guys, and those guys have a special talent. So if these kids today that don't throw that hard can just work on commanding all their pitches and throwing the ball over the plate, then I think they got just as good a shot as those guys.
That's big. Well, Spencer Patton has made it. It's been an honor to have you on the Tay and J Show. We thank you so much. Wish you continued luck. I'm sure all Cubs fans hope your deer stand season starts a little bit later this year as you work into October. Spencer, thank you so much, my man.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, Spencer. Congrats again on the newborn coming up soon as well. So that's awesome. Spencer Patton, Chicago Cubs reliever. The Cubs have kind of struggled since he's been up. Not necessarily his fault, obviously, but this team, they got a lot of talent.
I find it interesting, because he called it, he used the right term, yo-yo guy.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what he's going to be this year.
Yep.
But I liked how Joe Madden kind of told him, I
love it.
That's okay.
Right.
That's okay if you're that guy. Because they're probably going to go out and add a reliever, right? Mm-hmm. And Spencer's job might be in trouble, but there's plenty of spot. They need some reliable relievers. So if he continues to show it, either he'll find a spot with the Cubs and play a good role on this team, or he'll find another team eventually that he can do really well on. He strikes out a lot of guys.
Yes, he does.
He's got to cut down on the walks.
Okay.
That's been his issue so far when he's been up, but he's got major league stuff. So it's really cool to see a Central Illinois guy playing a role on a possible World Series contender.
Well, and how cool would that be, right? I mean, there's so many little things you look at if you're a Cubs fan, or even if you're not a Cubs fan, and you just look at if they finally can break this spell and to have two Illinois guys, Ben Zobrist and Spencer Patton, actually on the roster, if they would do it this year, I mean, that'd be something that's really neat. I think what was cool too is down in AAA with the Iowa Cubs, Spencer Patton dominated. He was closing games, he was throwing strikes, and now he's up and he's doing a great job with the Cubbies, and hopefully he'll be able to stick. But even if he goes back down, hopefully he'll be able to make his way back up come October and later in the year.
Now we got two more guys we got to get on the show.
Who's that?
Tanner Rourke.
Yes.
And Kevin Kiermaier.
That's right. I mean, this is, yeah.
Let's put Austin to work.
Okay.
Now, Austin Berkman will put him to work. And,
Kiermaier's hurt, right?
Yes.
And then we can just say
Rourke's probably big time though.
He's
been awesome.
He's been unbelievable. We'll just tell him that he struck you out, and
that's right.
I mean, so surely
Tanner, you ruined my baseball career.
Right. He'll be like, wait,
very promising.
Jeremy Warner from Piatone? Oh, well, I'll come on that show.
Probably not. Probably not.
That's fantastic.
All right, we'll start next hour with Mike Claiborne, KMOX, and the Cardinals broadcast crew. We're also going to take our Take a Knee contestant number 3 later in the show. We also have Ask Jay in the 5 o'clock hour. You can send in your Illini questions. I'll answer them on air. Just text us at 359-2255 or tweet me at Jay Warner Scout.
It is the Tay and J Show.
When you need hit music, you need Champaign-Urbana's hit music station. All the hits, Q96, where they start every workday with a Q96 Minute Music Marathon. A proud sister station to ESPN Radio 93.5. Legends Golf Course and Driving Range in Southwest Champaign offers something for golfers of all levels. The 9-hole executive course is great for anyone seeking a quick round of golf at an affordable price. Check out league nights, schedule a private outing, or your company's next team building event. Junior players can learn the game through camps while honing in on their skills in a fun environment. Relax after a round in the newly renovated clubhouse while catching up on golf tournaments or baseball on one of their 6 televisions. Legends Golf Course and Driving Range. Visit them at legendsofchampaign.com.
What if saving a child's life was as easy as running a few miles? The Champaign to Peoria St. Jude Run aims to end childhood cancer. Support this group of over 45 runners as they leave downtown Champaign on Friday, July 29th for a 24-hour, 103-mile journey. Run relay style. This fun run raises over $55,000 for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and they need your help. Donate to the run now at custjuderun.org, where 100% of your donation goes to finding cures and saving lives. custjuderun.org.
Right now, 1 in 3 drivers is cruising around in a state of skepticism about just how much value their car insurance company is delivering. If you're one of them, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign can help you get to a better state, because he'll talk with you, listen to you, and help put together a policy that has you written all over it. From cost to coverage, all backed by 24/7 customer support. Feeling less skeptical? Then call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign and officially get to a better state with State Farm. Visit kurtlenschow.com today.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Are you getting the attention you deserve from your broker? When you partner with Provident, you get an advisor who stays focused on you and your family. We work for you. Contact us today to schedule a consultation. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Why miss a word when you don't have to? Audibel is making it more affordable than ever with 0% financing for 24 months with approved credit on the new A4 hearing aids, the next generation of wireless hearing technology. Hear comfortably in any noisy environment. Hear phone conversations in both ears automatically and enjoy music like never before. And you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Find out how at Audibel Hearing Aid Centers in Champaign, Danville, Gibson City, Monticello, Tuscola, and Arthur. And at GetHearingHelp.com. Audibel. You should hear what you've been missing.
Can't find the Cubs on TV? No problem. Listen to them on our sister station, Sunny 95.3. Champaign-Urbana's home for soft rock favorites from then and now, and Cubs baseball. Legends Golf Course and Driving Range in Southwest Champaign offers something for golfers of all levels. The 9-hole executive course is great for anyone seeking a quick round of golf at an affordable price. Check out league nights, schedule a private outing, or your company's next team building event. Junior players can learn the game through camps while honing in on their skills in a fun environment. tournament. Relax after a round in the newly renovated clubhouse while catching up on golf tournaments or baseball on one of their 6 televisions. Legends Golf Course and Driving Range. Visit them at legendsofchampagne.com.
Monticello's newest bar and grill is Fieldhouse 219, serving up a full menu featuring gourmet burgers, sandwiches, wraps, and more. It's worth a drive to Fieldhouse 219 for sports and live entertainment. Watch your favorite sports teams on one of their 6 big screen TVs while enjoying a cold drink and one of their daily specials. And come back each weekend for live music at Fieldhouse in Monticello. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Make it Fieldhouse 219 for sports, food, drinks, and live entertainment. Fieldhouse 219 West Washington Street on the corner of Washington and Market in downtown Monticello.
This August,
Another strong finish by Phelps.
for the first time ever,
And it's a Gabby gold.
the spirit of the Olympic Games comes to life
Usain Bolt still the king of the 100.
in one of the world's most dazzling cities, Rio. The one event that unites the world. The 2016 Olympic Games from Rio, beginning August 5th on NBC.
Live from the Habib BPC studios, this is WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Live from New York, the Fox Report.
And Lisa Brady. Donald Trump just wrapping up a busy day of meetings with possible running mates in Indianapolis, including Indiana Governor Mike Pence.
I truly do believe that Donald Trump has the right vision for America.
Pence says he's honored and humbled to be considered. Trump telling Fox's Brett Baer.
Indiana's been special to me, and I think, you know, the level of receptivity that I've had here is incredible, and the governor's been amazing.
Trump met Pence last night, then again this morning with family members, also holding Indiana meetings with former House Speaker Newt Gingrich and Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions after meeting yesterday with New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Pence is seeking re-election and has a ballot deadline Friday. This is anti-Trump delegates prepare to make their move, seeking a change from the Rules Committee before the GOP convention begins Monday. In an Illinois speech on unity in America, Hillary Clinton says the nation needs a president who can pull people together.
And that is why I believe Donald Trump is so dangerous. His campaign is as divisive as any we have seen in our lifetimes.
She accuses Trump of fear-mongering. Children who've lost fathers.
Luckily, he's left this legacy. That's something no one can take away.
Her father, one of the 5 officers killed in Dallas last week, 3 of them being laid to rest today. His father was shot and killed by police in Baton Rouge.
Everyone needs to protest in the right way, with peace, no violence.
15-year-old Cameron Sterling. Back-to-back records on Wall Street. The Dow up 24 points to 18,372, another new closing high. The S&P also extending its record close up a fraction to 2152. The Nasdaq down 17. This is the Fox Reports, fair and balanced.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
Life can be unpredictable. That's why you should take control of your family's future now with an estate plan bundle from LegalZoom. Not sure whether you need a last will or a living trust? LegalZoom's network of independent attorneys in 48 states can help you decide which one's right for you without billing by the hour, since LegalZoom isn't a law firm. Plus, updating your estate plan as your family and assets grow couldn't be easier. Enjoy your life. Use LegalZoom for the legal stuff. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
There's late word from the ACLU in Louisiana that a group of local organizations are now suing the Baton Rouge police over the treatment of demonstrators protesting the shooting death of 37-year-old Alton Sterling. The groups are alleging authorities are using excessive force, carrying out mass arrests, and verbally and physically abusing protesters. Police have defended what they're doing in Baton Rouge. David Cameron is now the former British Prime Minister.
And as we leave for the last time,
My only wish is continued success for this great country that I love so very much.
About an hour after he bid farewell to 10 Downing Street, Theresa May moved in, pledging to forge a positive new role for Britain in the world.
And we will make Britain a country that works not for a privileged few, but for every one of us. That will be the mission of the government I lead.
She has since made a string of cabinet appointments preparing for the lengthy transition out of the European Union. Another infant in the U.S. affected by Zika.
A child born in the Houston area is diagnosed with microcephaly, or a deformed head, which impacts brain development and function. And the state lab in Texas confirms the condition was caused by the mother being infected with Zika. The mother became infected outside the United States in Latin America. State health officials are trying to assess what care can be given to the baby. Health officials from around the world are convinced Zika is the cause of a great number of microcephaly cases in South America. The disease is spread by either mosquito or unprotected sex. Eben Brown, Fox News.
This could be the end of Deflategate. Tom Brady's latest appeal rejected. The Patriots quarterback wanted a full appeals court to hear the case after a 3-judge panel upheld his 4-game suspension. His only hope now would be the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Mr. Brady goes to Washington. Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the AC experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to help keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, thunderstorms possible. Could get another half-inch of rain.
When I hear that stuff on Tom Brady, it's like the Charlie Brown teacher. Like when they start talking about it, this is what I hear.
This is still a thing.
Right, exactly.
Low of 68 tonight. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 87, low of 63. Friday, mostly sunny, high 82, low of 58. Right now, mostly cloudy, sun's peeking through a little bit. 88, feels like 96 in Champaign-Urbana.
All right, don't forget, we're taking your questions for Ask Jay. We're going to do that about 5:25. Jeremy will answer any of your Illinois questions. Just tweet him at Jay Warner Scout, or you can text in on the Chief Bauer text line, which is 359-2255.
It is time to hit the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line. Hey, I know tonight there's no baseball.
Right.
But if there are sports, Jupiters of the Crossing's going to have it on their TVs. I guess Cliff says there's a bunch of soccer on tonight.
He did.
So you got that going for you.
Well, you got that Chicago Fire at Sporting Kansas City game. I'm looking forward to that one. I've got that one DVR'd already.
Yeah.
7:30 start. First kick at pitch.
ESPYs? Did you ever watch the ESPYs?
Every year.
John Cena's on it.
Is he really?
That's another all-star festivity I don't watch.
No, every year I think I'd like to watch some of the ESPYs, but I never do. Yeah. I love the Jim Valvano.
Yes.
Love that. And I encourage anybody to give to that cause for
cancer. I did
cancer.
watch Stuart Scott's speech, too. That was awesome.
That stuff will move you to tears, no doubt.
Let's get to the Jupiters Crossing phone. I want to talk a little baseball, talk a little Cardinals baseball as well. He's Mike Claiborne, KMOX and the Cardinals broadcast crew. Mike, are you enjoying the all-star festivities?
Yeah. You know what? No, I don't really care. I think I've told you guys before, the All-Star game for me is like asking a mailman to take a walk on his day off. Right. We don't have the best players playing. And this whole thing that we're playing for home field advantage. So you're telling me that if the game comes down to the winning run at second base with 2 out, and there's a guy from the Oakland A's at the plate, or a guy from the Atlanta Braves at the plate, that he really cares who's going to have home field advantage.
That's a good point.
What's wrong with doing it like they used to? Either rotate it, or the team with the best record has home field advantage.
And Mike, here's my problem: is it's not managed any differently.
No.
We're still treating it the same way. And I'm looking forward to the day Rob Manfred just goes, "Listen, I love Bud Selig, but this was a mistake, and it's time to change it."
Well, I wouldn't even go as far as calling it a mistake. I think what I would say is that it's run its course. It's given us more stability. We think we've got an idea that may even help us be more effective.
Yeah. Good point. Why did they switch from giving it to the best record?
I don't know. They were going through a whole phase. The All-Star game was kind of a disaster. You remember the year they ran out of players.
Right.
And they had another year the rain was involved. So, they had some bumps in the road. and they wanted to trick it up to create some interest. You had players begging off for it as well. So I think that they felt like they had to do something to spice it up, and that's what it was. Okay, we've done it. It served its purpose. Let's move on.
Mike, one of the best reasons I love having you come on is because you get a chance to talk to Major League Baseball players on a daily basis. And I think, well, we always say, Jeremy and I, you've got the job. I mean, you're the man. Tony Gwynn is a guy I'm sure you talked a lot with. And last night I thought that was a great honor for not only Rod Carew, but also Tony Gwynn to name the NL batting champ after him. What were some things that maybe one moment, if you can recall, that you had with Tony Gwynn? And I always heard he was just an unbelievably nice gentleman.
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you, I used to talk hitting with him. And, he was one of the first guys to watch video. All right. His wife would tape the games. And, instead of guys that were looking for spin on the ball and, all of this, he just said, man, I just kept it simple, man. I looked for something white and I hit it. He said, I was just trying to see where I could pick it up coming out of the guy's hand.
Right.
But I couldn't look for the spin. And I think a lot of people, players, and most of them don't play anymore because they never saw the spin. A lot of guys are like that. They just see it, man. And he was very simple about it. It was unfortunate that the tobacco, got to him. And, he had some weight issues, too, that really slowed him down. But, he was just a fascinating hitter, man. He just kept it simple. And just when you thought he was swinging the bat well, he'd tell you, nah, I'm not seeing it like I need to. And then when you thought he looked bad to play, he'd say, oh, yeah, I'm on it now. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was an interesting guy, and I'm glad they did it. He was a guy from San Diego, and, he was Mr. Padre. I mean, I don't think Kirk Bavacqua has the same sort of presence in San Diego as Tony Gwynn did.
Mike, I think of my generation. I mean, I grew up. I remember going to a Cubs game, seeing Tony Gwynn in the strike year. He was hitting .393 at the time.
Right.
So I remember Tony Gwynn really well. But I think more my generation's Tony Gwynn is Ichiro Suzuki, and he's 10 hits away from 3,000. He's probably going to retire at the end of the year after he gets that. Then you have David Ortiz, who's kind of honored last night with the intentional walk.
Awesome.
His career obviously phenomenal. 500 home runs, 3 World Series with the Red Sox. Now he did test positive in 2003. Sure. Whose career would you rather have, Ichiro or Big Papi?
Ichiro. I asked this question to Mike Shannon the other day. I said, if you had a base open and you had the game on the line and you had to pitch to Musial, Rose, or Ichiro, who would you pitch to? He said, well, I'd hit Musial, and then I'd try and take my chances against Pete Rose. He said, I wouldn't want to face Ichiro.
Wow. That is interesting.
It would have been interesting, Mike, if he would have came over when he was like 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And here's the thing about him. They train in the same facility we do. He's got his own trailer that he has his fitness equipment in. And, he's so limber. I described him one day. It looks like Gumby. I mean, he could do things contortion-wise that I was, feeling like I was getting sore watching it. Maybe it's well-conditioned of an athlete as there is, has a really nice approach. And, you say he might retire. I don't know.
Yeah.
He might keep playing.
I'm sure he's
there's nothing that prevents him from playing. I mean, physically, he's in good shape. He still swings the bat well. I think the thing that really has been overlooked is the fact, he could steal bases whenever he wanted to. He just didn't do it as much, and he hit for power when he needed to. He's going to be here this weekend, and I don't know how much we're going to see him. That Marlin organization might be the most Mickey Mouse operation in all of baseball. I was going to say all of sport, and I forgot about the Rams. But to show you what kind of idiots they are, they had this deal where it was 1% for every home run off of a ticket for Stanton in the home run derby. Well, he had like 61 balls, at some point. And the next day, David Sampson comes out and says, well, Major League Baseball says we can only limit the discount to a certain price, which is bull.
Right.
But that just shows you what kind of operation they are. They're trying to, feed off of that thing. But we're going to see him this weekend, hopefully, but I'm told that he may not play as much because they definitely want him to break this record in Miami.
Got it. Now, I remember Tony Gwynn, of course, had a chance in St. Louis, didn't do it, then did it in Montreal in front of about 12,000 people. So that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Because half of the people that were at the game would think Guy Lafleur was going to come out there or something. I mean, they had no interest in baseball at that point, and that was too bad.
Mike Claiborne is our guest, KMOX Cardinal broadcast crew. As always, brought to you by Pekin Insurance, PekinInsurance.com. Home, auto, life, commercial, unbelievable claims. They do a great job with regards to your claims, so check them out, PekinInsurance.com. Before we get to the Cardinals, Mike, what is going on at Missouri? Now Mack Rhodes, the AD, is leaving for Baylor, of all places. I mean, what's
stability at Baylor, right?
What's going on down there?
Well, Baylor's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're in desperation mode, and I think one of the reasons why they hired Mack Rhodes was they needed credibility. They needed a young guy that the NCAA liked and basically showed the ability to create law and order within a program that's just been run rampant over the years. I mean, everybody's all up in arms about the football situation. I guess everybody forgot about they had a player kill another guy on the team, and Dave Bliss tried to cover it up, and, he got a run off. So, I mean, it's just been an athletic disaster there. And I don't know if you ever heard a story about, when they were in the Big Eight, they weren't going to, they were trying to get in the Big Eight, and they were in the old Southwest Conference. Well, that thing disbanded. So Texas and A&M, they knew they had a home in the Big 12. And they were going to they weren't going to take Baylor until Ann Richards, who was the governor of the state of Texas at the time. She was a Baylor alum. And she basically said, if Baylor doesn't go, you all aren't going. And I'll see to it. And she basically threatened Texas and Texas A&M, about their move, and basically told the Big 12 or the Big 8 at the time, it ain't going to happen unless Baylor's there. And plus, Baylor's a very good school academically, but it's an unfortunate situation. Missouri doesn't have a president. They don't have a chancellor. They don't have an athletic director. I don't know who Mack Rhodes told he was quitting.
Right.
He might have called somebody St. Louis U for all I know. I mean, nobody's there. Nobody's running that thing there now.
It makes Illinois look really stable.
Yeah.
Like the last year.
Well, yeah. It's funny you say that. And by the way, your new athletic director is going to do great things for that program. Not only with the academics, with the athletics, but I expect to see the academic standing and the whole culture from an athletic standpoint certainly go in the right direction. I think if you guys give him time, you're going to enjoy what he's going to be able to do. And I think when you look at how he can go out and find a Lovie Smith to get things started, now you come out and you get this great player, basketball player.
Right.
So, things are moving up, but I think your athletic director is going to have a whole lot more to say to the resurgence of Illinois sports.
Well, Mike Claiborne, let's talk a little Cardinals before we let you go. How would you grade the first half of the Cardinals season?
Well, I'd give them a C, maybe C+.
Yeah.
They were a 500 team, basically. And, everybody said, well, the pitching, we got to get more pitching. Well, hey, how about if we catch the ball a little bit more?
Right.
Look at a guy like Mike Leake, who had, almost 20 errors committed behind him. How do you expect a guy to continue to go out there and pitch every night? He can't keep I told you guys this at the beginning of the year, the three things the Cardinals had to do was execute, and that doesn't mean I'm talking about moving runners along and doing the little things. They had to throw strikes, and they had to catch the ball. Well, they were throwing strikes, but they didn't catch the ball,
right.
And the defense, it really put them behind the eight ball, where now you're giving a team an extra out. That means you may have to pitch to two more hitters that inning, which means that may be anywhere from 10 to 12 pitches more than you should be throwing. And it catches up to certain people. The defense has been a little bit better, but I think I'd give them a C, C+. We don't steal bases. You look at Kansas City and what they were able to do last year, and I'm surprised more teams aren't doing it because most catchers can't throw.
Right.
But for some reason, everybody wants to give these good runners a red light, and it's a real head scratcher.
Do you think the Cardinals will be a player at the trade deadline, and if so, where would they go with that?
Well, that's a good question, and I think the second part of your question is the most intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going to be in the market, what are you looking for, and what assets are you willing to, give up?
Right.
Your farm system is good, but it's not great, and all the good prospects are in AA. You got a couple in AAA, but you're not in a position where you're that loaded. Remember, you've been drafting at the back end of the draft for the better part of 20 years. So you don't have the phenoms that we see the teams like Chicago have, and obviously Chicago and Pittsburgh were bad teams for so many years, and eventually they started to draft better and get better players. I mean, was it really that difficult to pick Chris Bryant?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at some of the other guys that they had. The Cardinals, I think, are in that situation where they have to be very careful here in not mortgaging their future just because they think they have a whiff of getting in the postseason.
Fair enough.
Mike, could you see
now if you're a loaded team and you think you need to go out and get one more player to get you over the top, then you go for it. I don't think this team is suited for that.
Mike, I saw one site kind of say, well, here's what the Cardinals would do if they were sellers. Is there any chance if they could be sellers? Like they did buyers and sellers, and they said, here's what could happen if they were sellers. I'm not saying like big pieces here, but like a Brandon Moss or something like that. Do you think they'd part ways with that if they're 10 games back?
I think that they have to circle a day on the calendar on where are they. They come out of the gate and they find themselves 14, 15 back by the middle of August.
Right.
Then you're probably going to be a seller. But the key then is, can you get guys through waivers?
Yeah.
Because the trade deadline would have passed. So, I think it depends. And here's the other thing. The guys you'd like to sell, I'm not sure, you can get anything for. I mean, let's say you want to move Matt Holliday. He's last year of his deal. He's a 5-10 guy. He ain't going anywhere.
No.
Maybe you say we can get you on a winning team. He might go for it, but Brandon Phillips was a classic example last year. Brandon Phillips had a chance to play for the Nationals, but he wanted another year on his contract. They wouldn't give it to him. He said, "Well, I'll stay in Cincinnati." So it really depends on the player. And I think going back to your original point, Jeremy, I don't know who would be a property that you can move that you can get legitimate value for.
That's interesting.
Fair enough. The last one for you. This is a banged-up team, and your MVP just went down with a serious oblique strain. Just what do you think of the impact of Matt Carpenter and these little other injuries that are happening?
Well, you can't win it without him. I don't think we'll see him until the end of the month. I was talking to a couple of other people who've had that injury, and they say it's something you got to really be careful with. The other injuries, we're going to get, Seagrass back, and he had the kissing disease. Okay, so he went out one night. Who knows what happened? But Pena, I don't know what the deal is on him. He was still hurt when he came off the DL. You're stuck with him for another year at $2.5 million, so I don't know what you do there. The other injuries, I think you're going to be okay with. I think you'll have guys back ready to make a contribution.
Mike Claiborne, KMOX Cardinal broadcast crew. We appreciate it's some days off for you as well. We always appreciate your time. You know that, Mike. Thank you so much.
Well, always good to chat with you, cats. Are you guys going to make your appearance here in St. Louis this year, or is it just going to be a rumor?
You know what? I came down July 2nd, but there was so much rain going on that I didn't bother.
Oh, God.
If I
you should have. I didn't have anything to do with it.
I should have.
Just telling stories.
I should have.
Mike, if I were down in St. Louis, I'd text you.
Right.
Okay? That's the kind of guy I am.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy you are, Jeremy. Lon's like, well, I'm going to have another one, and then I'll text you.
That's probably
some
truth
to that. You're at your limit already.
How many bars?
I don't know what. I don't know what to do with this guy.
How many bars can I get kicked out of?
Welcome. Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's an old story. I'm trying to think of who the guy was where he could only have 2 drinks in a bar. That was his limit.
Right.
So you get 2 drinks and go down the street and have 2 drinks somewhere else. And at the end of the night, you're still drunk.
Mike Claiborne.
I just realized who that was. I can't mention his name
on
the air.
Yeah, we better not.
But it just made me think about it. I'm going to give him a call right after we finish talking just to see how he's doing. I haven't seen him in a while.
That is
Maybe
fantastic. Claims, thank you so much.
All right, boys. Have a great week. We'll talk soon.
You too, buddy. Mike Claiborne, Camo X, Cardinal Broadcast Crew is always brought to you by Pekin Insurance. Visit them, PekinInsurance.com. Great life insurance products with Pekin Insurance, including a single premium policy that you can ask your local agent about. That's PekinInsurance.com.
If you want to weigh in, you can call us on the Jupiter's Crossing phone line or text the Cheap Hour text line at 217-359-2255. That's 359-2255.
You intrigued me.
What's that?
With if the Cardinals are sellers. That intrigued me.
I'm with Mike. I don't know what you can sell.
Right.
Besides Holiday and Moss.
Well, you made me start thinking of that. Like guys like a Matt Adams would be intriguing to like a White Sox team.
Yeah, but he's under control.
Right. You wouldn't get rid of him. Moss would be the guy. Yeah. Or Holiday, but Holiday's not going anywhere. I think the Cardinals I think they'll redo his contract and he'll be there another year. It's interesting, though, when you think about
Trevor Rosenthal.
Rosie. I know a lot of people were wanting. Yeah. It's funny how a lot of people are thinking he should be gone, and I don't want him gone. I just
think he'd be selling very low.
Yes.
I think he could still be a very good major league reliever. I think he can eventually be a closer again, but
agree.
I kind of like that old guy a little more right now.
Yeah, right now, and he's showing it. It'll be interesting to see, but that was intriguing when you said that.
Is this a big deal?
Oh.
We got a couple stories in sports going on. We'll talk about those coming up next.
We'll do it. It's the Tay and J Show.
Are you ready? A free trip to the most lavish resort out of this world. The most spectacular landscapes and majestic views ever imagined. Where all human pains, afflictions, worries, concerns, they'll all be gone for eternity. You're right. It will be heaven. Well, it is very simple. Start your journey today. The Lord opens his welcoming arms to greet you. And this week, visit his house. Attend church services of your choice. We have found the Lord at Muhammad Christian Church. Listen to the words. Jesus will guide you as to where you need to be. And for our friends in nursing homes or assisted living, please attend your weekly prayer services. It is that simple. Start your journey today. The Lord will put his arm around you and give you comfort. Take away all your problems, anxieties, and pains for eternity. Are you ready? The Lord has been expecting you.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance, finding the perfect solution for you, guiding you through the options, helping you through a claim, and adapting to your evolving needs. Since 1997, GTPS Insurance has provided coverage for your car, your home, your business, and your life. As an independent broker, GTPS Insurance Agency will shop around until they find the right coverage at the best price. Contact a GTPS Insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
This Mettler Fitness Tip is brought to you by the Mettler Center, located at Windsor and Duncan in Champaign.
Learn delicious ways to cook healthy foods. Gradually cut down on fat, sugar, and salt in your usual recipes, and watch how your taste buds adapt to appreciate the natural taste of foods. Use citrus juices, herbs, spices, oils, and vinegars to add amazing new zest to your food, while you reduce your reliance on fat, sugar, and salt.
If you need quick advice on a fitness topic, go to MettlerCenter.com and click on Ask an Expert.
The American Cancer Society's Relay for Life July 30th in Hessel Park has teams preparing now with team captains taking note of Bank Night Thursday, July 14th from 5 to 7 p.m. Donation money is turned in, and a big thanks go out to Unity High School, Muhammad Seymour, and St. Joe Ogden for their mini relay events. On Tuesday, July 19th at Faith United Methodist Church, team captains will meet and go over the theme Wizard of Oz, Follow the Purple Road. For details on the Relay for Life July 30th at Hessel Park, visit cancer.org/Champaign County.
Bunny's Tavern, the best kept secret in downtown Urbana since 1936. Come enjoy 1350 mix and match domestic buckets 7 days a week. Enjoy Bunny's 10 big screen TVs, whether you're inside or enjoying the summer weather. On Fridays, enjoy a dry battered or grilled cod sandwich all day and all night. With delicious daily lunch and dinner specials, Bunny's Tavern may not stay a secret for long. Come check out what people in Champaign-Urbana have been whispering about for over 75 years. Bunny's Tavern.
Are you hiring?
Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 400,000 businesses. And right now, listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What'll he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
All right, is this a big deal? We've got that coming up right here on the Tay and J Show. And don't forget, Ask Jay at 525. Send your questions to Jeremy Werner. They can do that a couple different ways.
They can do it on Twitter at JWarnerScout, or they can text us on the Cheap Hour text line at 217-359-2255. This segment of the Tay and J Show brought to you by Bricks Wood Fire Pizza in Champaign. Not your typical pizza joint. They make all their dough fresh. Also, their own meatballs, focaccia bread, and fresh mozzarella in-house every day.
Nice.
Try the 4x4 pizza featuring 4 meats, sausage, pepperoni, prosciutto, and bacon, and 4 cheeses.
Yes,
For
please.
lunch, dinner, and late night, make it Bricks Wood-Fired Pizza at the corner of Neal and Devonshire in Champaign.
It's time for the update. Today is no sports day except for one UFC fight and some soccer. Otherwise, there are no live major sporting events. So, to fill the void, the SB Sports Awards are tonight live in L.A. Deflategate, that's not over. In the case of Tom Brady deflating footballs in an AFC Championship game back in the spring of 2015 is now on day 542. Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphrey's marriage lasted 72 days, and the divorce was finalized after 536. Today it was announced his 4-game suspension that was planned for last year before being overturned will be upheld in the 2016 season following a denied appeal in court. Former East Illinois quarterback and Arlington Heights native Jimmy Garoppolo will get the starting role in Brady's absence. Brady's only course of action left is to take the case all the way to the Supreme Court. MLB, the AL won last night's All-Star game 4-2, but the score ended up being Royals 4, Cubs 1. Chris Bryant slugged a homer off Chris Sale on the first pitch he saw for the first run of the game, a pitch that reportedly might have been grooved. According to ESPN Cub beat reporter Jesse Rogers, Chris's dad, Mike, ran into Sale 2 days before the game and told him to stop striking out my kid. Give him something to hit, a nice cookie or something. Sale didn't affirm or deny anything. He said it's the third batter of the game. You throw first pitch fastball. We didn't look at scouting reports or anything like that. In the second, Royals' Eric Hosmer and Salvador Perez knocked homers off the Giants' Johnny Cueto and propelled the AL to a 3-1 lead. They never looked back, and Hosmer added another RBI single in the later innings to earn himself the All-Star Game MVP. For his reward, Hosmer got the choice between a Chevy truck or a Camaro. He took the truck and gave it to his dad so his dad would stop stealing all his cars. Papa Hosmer said this after the game. He had a Ford 150 Harley Davidson and he left it at home one year. He never got it back.
Don't blame him.
Bad news for Cub fans. Syndergaard, he'll be available for his next start post-All-Star break in Chicago after dealing with arm fatigue last time out, so not dodging that guy. 430 Sports Center.
We will take our third qualifier for the Take a Knee contest later this hour.
Okay.
Later this hour, we'll take our third contestant in the Take a Knee contest. All you do, you come on with us, answer a few fun questions. We'll give them to you beforehand.
Yeah, we give you the questions and give you like 3-4 minutes.
Have a lot of fun with it. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these all on podcasts on our website, and we'll have people vote on these. And the winner of the Take a Knee contest wins a $1,500 credit to Christopher & Company for the engagement ring of your choice. So if you're going to need an engagement ring in the next year and a half, 2 years,
exactly,
it's a good idea.
Hey, and if you want a $3,000 ring, you're halfway there.
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable, this thing.
Right. So we'll do that later this hour. We'll open up the phone lines at 359-2255 later this hour for that.
I am good at math. Aren't I?
Yes, you are.
I mean, that was
halfway there.
Really impressive, Lon. All right, it's the Tay and J Show. Lon Tay and Jeremy Werner. Is it time for Is This a Big Deal?
Yeah, there's stuff going on in sports.
I like this.
Some interesting stuff,
Right.
even though it's one of the slower weeks
Right.
nationally. Not around here.
No.
With the Jeremiah Tillman news. And we'll talk some Illini next hour. Send in your Illini questions for Ask Jay. You can tweet me at JWarnerScout, or you can text him at 359-2255.
Is Tillman always going to be our favorite recruit because he did it on a day that's like the slowest day in sports?
He got some interest, right? Created some interest.
He knows what he's doing, man. He's a marketing guy.
Yeah.
Right. He needs to major in marketing. He knew how to do that and when to strike. So that was awesome. All right, we're going to bring in Brendan now, who's going to help us out with Is This a Big Deal? What's up, my friend?
How's it going, guys?
You've got your Kansas Jayhawk shirt on again.
I do.
I think we should let everybody know that because you don't have to like him.
What's it like being a Kansas basketball fan?
Oh, my goodness.
It's exciting. It's fun. My parents went to their first game ever this past spring, and they were there when we clinched our 12th straight Big 12 title.
Do you
so,
yawn?
Cool.
Do you
cut the
yawn
nets
when
down
that
and
happens?
everything.
I mean, is that just another yawning night for you guys?
Yeah, a little bit. Not the greatest game. Only beat Texas Tech by double digits. It was.
How much is Bill self-criticized there?
Good question.
Let's put it this way. I'm the last year I was our sports director for student radio out there. The only people who criticize Self were the idiots who we don't want back.
That's great.
The hot take kings of the radio
Right, so
station.
they're not that worried that, hey, we had a second round exit or something like that.
Bill is pretty much a god in Lawrence, Kansas.
I love it. I love it. Do you go to every game?
Yeah.
So was it hard for you when you became a student there to get tickets, or is it easy to get tickets? I can't imagine it is.
For students, it's impressively easy. You can buy football and basketball together, but you can't buy them separately.
Got it.
So it's easy. Considering
that is really, really smart by Kansas.
Oh, it's
because
huge.
Who goes to football games?
I'm raising my hand here, but there are many of us.
12,000 people.
There are many.
That's about true. Well, that's interesting. All right, so Brendan, you're ready to go with Is This a Big Deal?
You want some music or something?
Yeah, you want to do football here?
You can do whatever you want over there, Mr. Tay.
Yeah, I like this. I like
Good
the
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of football, the gift that keeps on giving for sports radio, and that's the Deflategate situation. An appeals court denied Tom Brady's petition to overrule his 4-game suspension. He's planning on taking this to the Supreme Court. Is this a big deal?
That's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark. You know what?
Kind of a big deal.
You know why? I'm going to say I'm tired of it.
Yes.
I'm sick and tired of this, but I think it is a big deal because you're mentioning the Supreme Court.
Right.
I mean, this is
there's
big
an
deal.
athlete going against that,
Absolutely.
league and that business. I think it's a huge deal.
I do too. And
even though I'm sick of the topic of it
I am
and
too.
what he actually did, him kind of going against the NFL and do they have the rights to suspend him for this is really interesting.
It is.
I'll give him that it's going this far and that he's going to fight it that far because I believe Tom Brady probably tried to deflate the footballs a little bit.
I do too.
I don't think that's a big deal.
Right.
I don't think that changed that game against the Colts.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
That just did not do it. But I do think he did something wrong. But he's going to these lengths, like so many athletes we've seen before. Whether it's Lance Armstrong, Barry Bonds, all those guys, to protect his legacy or to protect himself.
I think it was funny because Fred Wakefield, who played 7 years in the NFL, came on right after that happened, and I was complaining and whining, and he's like, Lon, just zip it. This is done every day. I mean, people try to do whatever they can to win, so this is not a big deal with regards to the football, but I think it is a big deal when it comes to the Supreme Court, and probably for a lot of people that aren't sports fans, they're probably sitting there going, does our Supreme Court have other things to do?
It's an employee saying his business can't
Absolutely.
punish him like
and
this.
And the NFL is one of the biggest, so that is a big deal.
All right, so let's move on to the NBA here. Commissioner Adam Silver called super teams, quote, not ideal, and said he hopes that a new CBA encourages players to be spread out throughout the league. Is this a big deal?
I think it's interesting, but
So not a big deal.
Adam Silver is speaking for 28 owners who are upset about this. Right? Golden State is not upset about this. Cleveland is not. Well, Cleveland might be a little upset, but those owners are not upset about this. The owners who are sitting there going, well, we're fighting for second place this year.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are upset about it. What are they going to give up? I mean, what would they give up in negotiations to make sure this doesn't happen? In your last negotiations, you tried to make this happen with bird rights, right? You gave teams that own those players an extra year and an extra 7.5% increase in contracts each year, while teams that don't own their rights before can only get 4.4%.
Right.
So even though you did that, players decided we have power.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. Like we're going to go to teams we want to make, especially these superstars who are going to make millions and millions of dollars in endorsements anyway. So these players are going to decide what they want. And this really is a weird time because I don't know if this happens 5 years ago.
I agree.
But now with this salary cap going up so much, these players don't mind a 1-year deal.
Yep.
When the salary cap kind of stabilizes, you might see them sign 5-6 year deals again.
I'm with you.
So, not a big deal.
I'm with you on this because you know what? This stuff kind of, I don't want to use the word polices itself like I'm talking about hockey here or baseball, but this kind of stuff are things that happen in sports throughout the years, and you think to yourself, all right, are we ever going to figure out the shift? Well, eventually you will. They'll figure out how to beat the shift, and we'll get that out of the way. This is something that will take care of itself eventually. Yeah. And I don't think that Adam Silver, even though he is obviously the commissioner, I don't think he's going to be able to do that because these players are not going to agree to it. They want to make money. They want to go where they want to go. They got the power.
This is bad for teams in the league. It's not bad for the league.
No, correct.
The Warriors are fantastic for the league.
Sure.
The ratings for their games and for national interest in the NBA. I mean, listen, we were talking about Kevin Durant on this show as our main story.
Absolutely.
For like a week.
It's a good point.
Right?
It's a great point.
And where else does that happen that we're talking about Oklahoma City Thunder going to the Golden State? I mean, that's how big that was for them.
All right, staying in the NBA now, Howard Beck of Bleacher Report is reporting that rival GMs think the Oklahoma City Thunder will trade Russell Westbrook soon and that the most likely destination is the Boston Celtics. Is this a big deal?
You know what?
Kind of a big deal.
I think it is. And I think this would be huge for the Boston Celtics. Now, that would at least give another team in the East a fighting chance to make that
Westbrook,
respectable.
Horford.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know what they'd have to give. They'd have to give up that Brooklyn pick.
Yes.
And if I'm the Thunder, I look at the Celtics as that's a team I got to trade
Absolutely.
them to. Because they got that Brooklyn pick, which is likely going to be a top 3 or top 5
things
pick.
are falling apart for you anyway in Oklahoma City, unfortunately.
And that's sad.
It is.
It is sad that, that move is going to kill that franchise for a little bit.
Sure.
But they got to find the next way up.
Yep.
And that would be it because you can get a couple really good players from the Boston Celtics. They're really deep at point guard. You can add some pieces, whether it's Jay Crowder and Isaiah Thomas in that pick. That gives you a chance to rebuild and get good again. But that'd be really exciting for the Celtics, really exciting for the league
it would
to have
be.
somebody that can really compete with the Cavs, you'd think.
Well, and I think it'd be great for the league. We talk about how it'd be great for the league in the last question. I think having the Celtics good again is good for the NBA. Same with the Lakers. It's going to be a while for LA. The Boston is slowly making their way there, but something like adding Westbrook, I think, would be huge.
All right, so let's move on to some Olympic stuff here. Rory McIlroy, who is pulled out of the Olympics, said he'll watch the event but won't watch golf and is only going to watch, quote, stuff that matters.
Wow.
Is this a big deal?
Here's the actual quote.
I don't feel like I've let the game down at all. I didn't get into golf to try and grow the game. I tried to get into golf to win championships and win major championships. And all of a sudden you get to this point and there's a responsibility on you to grow the game. And I get that, but at the same time, that's not the reason that I got into golf. I got into golf to win. I didn't get into golf to get other people into the game. But I get where different people come from and different people have different opinions. But I'm very happy with the decision that I've made, and I have no regrets about it. And I'll probably watch the Olympics, but I'm not sure golf will be one of the events I'll watch.
Wow. Hey, speaking the truth right there. Listen, I really honestly...
So, not a big deal.
Don't think this is a big deal.
I agree with you. And you know what I love? Rory is being honest.
He's being very
honest. I hate
honest.
how media attack guys who are honest.
Right.
They want guys to be honest, and then they are, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't have said that.
Right.
Like, that's why we get boring athletes.
Exactly.
And we get no real opinions. We get no truth and no honesty. I love it for Rory.
I do
because
too.
you know what? The reason Jordan Spieth is not playing in the Olympics isn't because of Zika.
No.
It's because he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Nobody cares about winning a gold medal. What's he going to be remembered for?
Yep.
Not a gold medal.
No.
He's going to be remembered for winning majors.
Yep.
And that's the most important thing in his career, and he wants to focus on that. That's what Rory's saying. Is I'm not here to win Olympic medals.
Correct.
I'm here to win major championships and make a lot of money on the PGA Tour. And I love that he was honest.
I do too. Well said. And you know me, I'm a Ryder Cup guy with regards to representing your country.
That'd be fun.
That would be
team
awesome.
Competition would be awesome
if they did that. And so, in a way, the Olympics, I'm going to have pride in the American golfers, I guess, that they win. But you know what? Not really.
If Ricky Fowler doesn't win the gold, they're going to be upset.
I'm not going to be upset at all.
It's a great opportunity for guys like that. I mean, that's a chance to grow your brand, make a little bit of money if you win a medal. But for guys like Rory and Jordan Spieth and Dustin Johnson and Jason Day, it doesn't make any sense.
They got bigger worries.
Yeah.
They got bigger worries.
All right, guys, one more here in the world of college football, and there is big news other than just getting excited for the 2023-2024 Illinois-Kansas home-and-home series. That is the college football playoff, and they are considering moving the semifinals away from New Year's Eve, which the day the games were played on this past season and again this year. Is this a big deal?
I'm going to go with that.
Kind of a big deal.
Yes.
Because it was terrible last year.
I agree.
It wasn't just because of the bad games. I give my story all the time. I was at a New Year's Eve party, and while we had it on, I wasn't paying attention to it. As big as those games were and as excited as I were to see that, people have plans on New Year's Eve. They want to go meet with people that they don't see all the time, and that's how I was. I have very limited opportunities to see my college friends, and that was a great opportunity to do it, and that was more important to me than watching the college football semifinals. And that's a bigger day for socializing than watching football.
Amen.
January 1st, I'm all for it.
Yep.
I'm all for watching.
Well, you're conditioned.
Or December 30th.
You're correct. Yeah. And listen, you're big enough, college football, that you can throw that on January 2nd or 3rd or whatever.
But I don't think they are for December 31st.
Well, right, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So I think it is a big deal. I think they should move it from New Year's Eve and see what happens. Maybe Illinois will be there one day. Maybe not. All right, Brendan, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
All right, we are going to take our fourth contestant for the Take and E contest. Your chance to win a $1,500. That's $1,500 credit to Christopher and Company. I'll reset. All you do, you join us, you answer a few questions. We'll give you to them before you come on air. You'll have a little fun with it. We'll podcast these, and at the end of the month, we'll have people vote on their favorite guy. Whoever gets the most votes will win a $1,500 credit to Christopher and Company. All you do, you answer some fun questions about your future fiance. So if you're thinking of getting married in the next year or two, this is a great opportunity to get $1,500 and qualify for that to Christopher and Company. We'll take the second caller, 217-359-2255. That's 359-2255. You can join us for the Take and E contest. Again, that's 217-359-2255.
And on the heels of Jeremiah Tillman committing to the University of Illinois at 5:25 today, we're going to do Ask Jay. You can send in your questions for Jeremy Warner. You can text the Chief Bauer text line at 359-2255, or you can tweet to Jeremy. It's at Jay Warner Scout. Get your questions in. We'll ask those about 5:25. Again, if you want to be part of the Take a Knee contest, give us a call now, 359-2255. It is the Tay and J Show.
Hi, I'm Joan London. When I needed to find senior care for my mom, I really struggled to find the right fit until I found an advisor, someone who had been through this before. That's why I recommend A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. They have experts who will help you ask the right questions and find the right place. Call A Place for Mom today.
To speak with a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-467-7530. That's 1-800-467-7530.
A Place for Mom has helped over 200,000 families find the right senior care for their parents, from assisted living to independent living, even Alzheimer's care, and have local advisors that can help explain your options at no cost to you.
To speak with a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-467-7530. That's 1-800-467-7530.
Call today.
Urbana Business Association and the City of Urbana are excited to announce the second season of their Urbana Food Truck Rally Series. Gourmet food trucks from around the Urbana-Champaign area will converge in the Urbana Civic Center parking lot on the last Tuesday of each month from April through October from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., rain or shine. So get out of your office, soak up some sun, and enjoy a great selection of CU's finest street food. For a list of participating food trucks or more information, please visit urbanabusiness.com or urbanaillinois.us.
We know how much you love your car. Protect your ride with AutoGuard from Pekin Insurance and your local independent agency. AutoGuard picks up where other policies fall short, offering trip interruption coverage, key replacement, tire protection, accidental airbag deployment coverage, and more. All for just $20 per year per vehicle. Call your local Pekin Insurance agent or visit www.pekininsurance.com to put their beyond the expected services to work for you with AutoGuard.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-519-7796. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-519-7796.
Join the Women's Business Council for their Roaring 20s themed party, Juice the Joint, at Jupiter's at the Crossing on Saturday, July 16th from 7 to 10, benefiting Salt and Light Ministries. This is the Cat's Meow of events, and you will not want to miss it. Juice the Joint will include casino tables, jazz and swing dancing, food and drinks, mug shots hosted by Stasky Photography, party raffles, including a Ford Escape thanks to Bill Smith Auto, Service King, and Dawn's 24-hour towing, a mattress and pillow set from Mattress Firm, and a 50-inch TV thanks to Steve Tarrant at State Farm, along with other great prizes. So pull out your flapper dress gangster gear, newsboy cap, or your vest for the best dressed costume contest. It's Juice the Joint with Women's Business Council, July 16th, benefiting Salt and Light Ministries. Brought to you in part by CleanRight, RSM Accounting Firm, Service Master, and Prairie State Bank. Check out WBCCCC.org for tickets and enter into the Ford Escape car raffle in advance. That's WBCCC.org.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
All right, it's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. We've talked a lot of baseball today. We had Spencer Patton join us. He's the Chicago Cubs reliever that has some ties. He was born in Urbana, went to high school at Farina down in southern Illinois, lived in Ken Mundy, and of course played 1 year at Parkland. He spent 2 years at Parkland and played, I think, one of those years. And then, of course, Mike Claiborne at 4:05, KMOX Cardinal broadcast crew joined us then. We're going to do Ask Jay at 5:25. Again, text us on the Chief Bauer text line. Any Illini questions you have, 359-2255. You can also tweet Jeremy at JWarnerScout.
Kind of got Carp's second-day thoughts on the Jeremiah Tillman commitment. And, you know, obviously everyone wants to know when's Jordan Goodwin going to commit next. I think, you know, the end of the month could be a time that you could, you know, maybe see something happen, though. He wanted to see this process out through July. Some people probably want him to drag it out a little bit more, but I think the Jeremiah Tillman thing obviously has turned his head. But 2 days later, Lon, what are you thinking? What are you feeling as an Illini, I think?
I'm honestly, I'm ready for Goodwin to commit at any moment. I really, that's what I'm feeling.
It's funny how, like, the moment you get a Tillman commit, the first thing you think of, who's next?
Yes.
Like, there's like a celebratory, like, Jeremiah Tillman, okay, and who's next? What's next? That's all you think about.
You do, and it's true. And I think for Jordan Goodwin, did you see the Channel 3? I know you were on Channel 3 with Brett and those guys, but did you see his interview that Brett did with Tillman? I mean, it almost made it sound Tillman's like...
Well, yeah, Derek talked to him right after.
Well, right.
And
both of you guys.
He said it's not a guarantee, but yeah, I'm saying it's a guarantee.
Right, that's right. I had forgotten the Derek.
I don't know that's definitely going to happen, but I think Illinois is in a very good spot with him.
This just continues to excite me. Now I've had a chance to talk to some of my friends that are season ticket holders for Illinois. They're fired up. A lot of the stuff we talk about is... This will be interesting now for Gross because I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of my circle of friends, which are, again, guys that are season ticket holders, guys that have been Illini fans their entire life from this area, they were losing a lot of faith in John Gross.
Sure.
And they still don't have 100% faith in John Gross with regards to getting it done on the court, but they certainly now understand that with something like this, this is making a big deal for Illinois fans because you're bringing in now some stud recruits, and it looks like if Goodwin does sign, now you've got a loaded 2017 class, and you still got another scholarship you could possibly give, or even two if you wanted to. So I think in that regard, I think a lot of Illini fans are feeling that excitement again.
Yeah.
And like I told you, I mean, last year was probably, and this is horrible, last year was probably the least looked forward to Illinois basketball season in my life.
Even before the season?
Before the season.
Really?
I
really thought it was Gross's second year because that team, going into last year I thought that team was a tournament team.
For me, I don't know. I can't explain it, but I had no interest. I had zero interest in that season. Even the second year, they were coming off an NCAA tournament, and you knew kind of what was going on, but I didn't really.
Last year had a bad taste in its mouth heading in.
It did.
But I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Okay. And that's true.
Yeah.
And maybe it didn't, but I can't tell you. And maybe Jeremy.
I mean, it's your feelings. I'm just saying, for me, I thought that was a good roster.
It may have been.
And then the injuries just crushed it.
It may have been as the season was going along. Maybe I'm talking more Big Ten.
Abrams got hurt.
Right.
Thorne got hurt. Jalen Coleman-Lands was hurt before the season.
I think that's probably what it was, because then, you barely beat Chicago State.
Yeah.
You lost to whomever you lost to, like right off the bat.
North Florida
that came, and I was gone. I was out of the country when that happened, and I remember getting back thinking, are you kidding me? Like, this isn't good. And I think then once the Big Ten season hit, it'd be a Thursday night and Illinois basketball was on. Any other time in my life, minus my younger days and in college when I really didn't care about anything, but a few things. And it was just one of those where I'm like, well, Thursday night, college basketball on 8 o'clock, Illinois game, I'm fired up. Here's what I'm doing. This last year, I was just like,
Do you want to hear from Jeremiah Tillman?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's Derek Piper from IlliniInquirer.com talking with Jeremiah Tillman right after his commitment.
.com here at La Lumiere with a guy that doesn't need an introduction, the new Illini commit, 5-star center, Jeremiah Tillman, the most popular man in Illini Nation right now. Jeremiah, you made the commitment today to John Gross in the program. What made Illinois right for you?
They've been recruiting me since like 8th grade. I feel like that's my home. That's my heart is telling me that's where I want to be. So I just look at them like that's where I want to go,
You've thought about this moment and this decision probably 1,000 times. You thought about it a lot. What is it like to finally make this commitment, make this announcement, and what is this moment like? What are you feeling emotionally?
I feel relieved for real because it's been like a headache going through the recruitment process. A lot of schools been calling me and stuff, so phone just been getting on my nerves for real. So now that I know where I'm going, I've been to where I was going. I just want to see how big would I blow up and all that stuff. But yeah, Illinois is my home.
It's no secret that John Gross and the staff have gone after high-level players. They've landed some good classes. They just haven't had that home run until today. They've gone after some big-time players in the state, but they were unsuccessful with them. Why do you think that you were different? Why did you want to stay home and do something special in Champaign?
Being that Illinois is where I'm from, I take pride in loyalty and stuff. So I ain't trying to be like everybody else and go to another school just because of the name of it. I feel like I can put Illinois in the map just like everybody else been. So, yeah.
You joined DeMonte Williams and Javon Pickett in this class, the guys that you know very well. What do you think about them two as players, and what do you feel like you guys can accomplish together?
Both great point guards. I know they can handle the ball. They want to win. So I feel like we are bond together. And DeMonte, he's a great point guard. He can score, he can shoot, he can pass. So I won't have no problem with neither one of them,
Obviously, fans are going to be thinking about what's next. And your boy, Jordan Goodwin, is a guy that you want to bring and everybody else. What are you going to say to Jay Good and other top-level players about Illinois and wanting to team up with you there?
Jordan, I tell him just keep his head on. I know he's coming with me, but it's not a guarantee, but it's a guarantee he's coming with me. Yeah.
I love it.
That's Jeremiah Tillman.
It's not a guarantee,
but it's a guarantee.
But it is a guarantee. I honestly feel that it is.
I think you're feeling good.
That's me.
I think you feel really good about it right now. Yeah.
I have felt all along, and I think I've told you this numerous times, I've felt all along that I thought Illinois, and I could still be burnt, I felt all along that he would come to Illinois. Now, I have no reason to think that. I don't have any inside track to anything. I just felt like Illinois is the spot for him. Now that Tillman is in, it's 99% in my mind that Jordan Goodwin will end up here.
I agree with you.
And I hope he does.
Yeah, I agree with you because Illinois has done a great job with both. They identified both those guys, offered them before anybody.
Yes.
Right? Before anybody, they said you're a big-time college basketball player, you're a Big Ten basketball player, and they've developed those relationships really, really well.
It's huge. All right, next hour, Ask Jay. Get your questions in now at 359-2255. Any Illinois question, and the good one's already been asked.
We'll answer it again.
Sent in, so we'll ask that. 359-2255 or text or tweet, Jeremy, at Jay Warner Scout. It is the Tay and J Show.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
When your computer's not working, you're not working. Hi, this is Dan from Simplified Computers. Whether your computer is running slow, you have a virus, or it's just time for an upgrade, Simplified Computers is here to help with personal service you won't find at the big box stores. We can set up your wireless network, build, install, and maintain your business's server, or replace your hard drive. For over 18 years, we have served the Champaign-Urbana community with integrity and quality customer service. Call us at 352-5000. Simplified Computers, simply the best.
Hey Cardinal fans, the weekend of July 15th, 16th, and 17th. It's the 2006 World Series anniversary weekend, and it's loaded with great promotions. Friday night, the 2006 World Series Championship Beer Stein, presented by Budweiser. Saturday, the replica 2006 World Series Championship Mystery Player Ring. And on Sunday, the adult replica Home White 2006 Mystery Player Jersey, presented by AT&T. Tickets available at cardinals.com/promotions.
This August,
another strong finish by Phelps.
For the first time ever.
And it's a Gabby gold.
The spirit of the Olympic Games comes to life.
Usain Bolt still the king of the 100.
In one of the world's most dazzling cities, Rio. The one event that unites the world. The 2016 Olympic Games from Rio. Beginning August 5th on NBC.
Live from the Habib BPC studios, this is WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Fox News Radio, I'm Kathleen Maloney. Donald Trump continues to meet with possible running mates.
It's very humbling for our family to have the opportunity to meet the next president of the United States, to get to know his family, and obviously to be considered for a position of this magnitude.
Indiana Governor Mike Pence among those on Trump's VP shortlist.
Newt Gingrich is very definitely likely to be one of the top two. Trump has been talking about him, said that he will definitely have a job in his administration of some kind. Some of his aides have hinted that perhaps that's for national security as opposed to vice president. Then there's the question of Chris Christie. Christie's a longtime friend with Donald Trump. Their families have spent time together, sort of recreation, leisure time and things like that. And they really get along. They're pals.
Fox's Carl Cameron. Trump also met today with Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions, one of his early supporters. A decision on a running mate expected within the next day or two ahead of Monday's Republican National Convention. A new Fox poll shows Democrat Hillary Clinton has a 10-point lead on Donald Trump in the swing state of Colorado, 44 to 34%. Clinton also ahead of Trump by 7 points in Virginia, 44 to 37%. Hillary slamming Trump today, calling his campaign the most divisive she's ever seen.
It is built on stoking mistrust and pitting American against American.
Clinton speaking in Springfield, Illinois, also calling for common sense gun and criminal justice reform after all the recent shootings. A 3-day rally loses momentum, but the market closes mostly higher. The Dow gaining 24 points to remain at a record high. S&P up a fraction, NASDAQ down 17 points. The price of oil dropping more than 4%. You're listening to Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
Focus. You need it to run a business, so don't let legal questions distract you. Use LegalZoom instead. Things like lease agreements and employment laws get complicated, but they're part of running a business. That's why LegalZoom built a network of independent attorneys in 48 states. You can rely on them for the legal details without paying by the hour, since LegalZoom isn't a law firm. So focus on growing your business and use LegalZoom for the legal stuff. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Thousands attended services for 3 of the 5 Dallas police officers killed by a sniper. Emily Thompson speaking about her newlywed husband.
Brent showed me that even though I would doubt myself from time to time, I'm strong and can do anything. Thursday, July 7th, 2016, at 8:58 p.m., that was all ripped from me in an act of senseless violence.
Officer Brent Thompson was with Dallas Area Rapid Transit. The other 2 officers laid to rest today, Sergeant Michael Smith and Senior Corporal Lorne Ahrens. The ACLU of Louisiana and other groups are suing the Baton Rouge police over their treatment of demonstrators protesting the shooting of Alton Sterling. The lawsuit describes the protest as peaceful and claims officers used excessive force, carried out mass arrests, and verbally and physically abused the demonstrators. Some people are taking a virtual reality game a little too far.
People on the go know the latest Pokemon Go craze can consume your life, and one woman is offering her help for a fee. In a Craigslist ad, according to the Wrap, the nameless 24-year-old New Yorker offered her services as a $20 an hour professional Pokemon Go trainer. Meanwhile, the Holocaust Museum is not a Pokestop. Andrew Hollinger, the museum's communication director, told the Washington Post playing the game is not appropriate in the museum, which is a memorial to the victims of Nazism. While 4 teens in Missouri apparently staked out specific spots they knew would draw players of the popular game, then rob them. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
The rides are rolling now, but a bomb threat closed down Six Flags America in Maryland for hours today. The all clear given at the amusement park in Prince George's County after the bomb squad determined 2 suspicious packages weren't explosive. I'm Kathleen Maloney, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the AC experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. Tonight, chance of rain continues. Thunderstorms about to hit the area probably about an hour or so. Low at 68. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 87.
I think it's raining everywhere.
Low at 63. We actually have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect right now. Friday, mostly sunny, high 82, low of 58. Right now, again, severe thunderstorm watch, 86, feels like 95 in Champaign-Urbana. It is Drive Time, presented by Honda BMW Champaign. For new and used vehicles, stop by Honda BMW Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy, or visit online at drivechampaign.com. Lante, this will recap the first 2 hours of the Tay and J Show.
Yeah, and I didn't get as cocky with this, but it's obvious the Cubs are better than the White Sox because Chris Bryant took a Chris Sale pitch and deposited that thing into the... So it's done.
That was like a...
argument's over.
A Doc Emmerich. That was a good verbiage right there. Deposited a baseball.
The baseball. Isn't it, one thing that struck me last night? Because there
he
are
shuffleboards it.
He's the best.
Totally did that.
Doc Emmerich might be the one guy I want on the Tay and J Show. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he did a baseball game with Bob Costas on MLB Network.
Did he really?
The other day.
And he was great.
It was weird having like 2 kind of play-by-play guys.
Yeah.
But he's a big Pittsburgh Pirates fan.
Okay.
And he did it at PNC Park, and he said it was his dream. It was his dream to cover.
That's cool.
And call a Pittsburgh Pirates game.
Well, we did talk about the National League and American League, the AL wins 4-2, and you said you just had it on.
I had it on. I did find a stat Because I'm just not into the All-Star game.
Right.
Little kids, I get it.
No, right. And I still get a little excited when I see my uniform.
Seeing Chris Sale pitch.
Yeah, that was cool.
Was cool. I would have liked it. I think I would have liked it more if the White Sox were terrible.
Okay.
Right? Because that would be my moment.
Right.
As a White Sox fan, that would have been my moment. But all I was thinking is, don't get hurt.
No.
Don't get hurt, Jose Quintana.
Right.
That's all I could think of with those guys.
Oh, my goodness.
But it was cool for the Cubs. I think that was a really cool Cubs night, having the starting infield. Rizzo makes that snag. Yep. Obviously, Bryant had a really good game.
Huge.
That was a really cool night for Cubs fans.
I thought it was funny when they showed the stat of the Cubs infield, and they're like, it's only been done once. And, of course, it was the Cardinal team back in the 60s with Julian Javier.
But the AL wins again, 4-2. In my lifetime, the AL record over the National League, 21-7-1.
Is it
21 wins for the AL in my lifetime, 29 years.
Now, nothing can explain that.
But the National League, before I was born, had
dominated
a 36-20 record.
That was kind of...
It's amazing how that happens.
It is, and that's why they kind of always called the American League the junior circuit.
Right.
But it is amazing, and there's no explanation for it with regard... I mean, the National League's got a lot of
fans
studs.
pick the players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is weird. I was going to tell you, who was the pitcher last night that reminds me...
Because that was one of Cy Young. When you got Carlos Carrasco, who's got the talent to do it. Danny Salazar had a Cy Young-ish first half. Trevor Bauer, we know, has ridiculous talent, former top 3 pick. And then Josh Tomlin's been ridiculous. Not Josh Tillman.
Right.
Josh Tomlin has had
who it is.
Has had a really, really good first half as well.
Well, and you know what's funny is you get a good pitching staff like that come October can really dominate, and that's key. The other thing that struck me last night about the All-Star game, there are a lot of young kids. Yeah. I mean, David Ortiz, obviously, that was a neat, special moment for him. I don't know why that guy just doesn't play another couple of years. He still rakes. And then, of course, you have the 2 awards before that were given that are now going to be given to the National League batting champion in honor of Tony Gwynn and the AL in honor of Rod Carew. That's pretty cool for guys my age, especially that watched a guy like Tony Gwynn. And, of course...
Should it have been... I know Rod Carew's big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Great hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Williams.
Well... I think probably Ted has so many other things. So, like, let's give Rod Carew.
Let's give Rod something. Let's give the slap hitter something.
Right. It's almost like a slap hitter. Like, that's the award now. If you're the best slap hitter in baseball.
Better hitter. Rod Carew, Ichiro Suzuki.
Oh, Ichiro.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you would say Tony Gwynn or Ichiro, I'd probably still go Gwynn. It might be my heart.
I think Gwynn had a higher average.
Yeah, he never hit below 309.
I'd rather have Ichiro.
Yeah.
Because the defense,
can do everything
the
else.
speed.
Yep.
That really hurt
And if
Gwynn.
he needed to hit for power, he could do it. That's the amazing thing.
We also talked about how Illinois is not the most embarrassing athletic program out there in the past year.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota was up there with all the issues they've had this year, but Missouri. Right now, they don't have a president because of all the racial issues down there. They don't have a chancellor because of that as well. And now they don't have an athletic director.
Yep.
Mack Rhodes has left Missouri for the stability of Baylor.
That's so funny.
No, Baylor.
That's just an embarrassment. Their pets' heads are falling off worse than ours, and that thing is just in shambles right now. The basketball team is horrible. They won, 10 games last year? I don't know how many more they'll win this year, if that. And then the football team, I think, will continue to take a little bit of step back due to the removal. Well, Gary Pinkel leaving on his own accord with his health issues. Yeah. But like you said, also this to start the show, this is a great opportunity for Lovie Smith and those guys and Thad Ward, who recruits that St. Louis area along with Lovie, to get in there and maybe steal some of those recruits that were maybe Missouri bound in the SEC.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Yeah. That's a struggle for Illinois.
Big time.
And obviously it opens up a little bit of opportunity for them as well. Earlier in the show, we talked with Spencer Patton.
That was awesome.
Cubs reliever. And obviously that was a lot of fun to have a Major League Baseball player on our roster and some of the stories he was able to tell us.
That was cool. And you asked him the great question about what was the most minor league moment of your minor league career. And he said, you watch some of those stories. You watch like Bull Durham and some of this. He's like, one of the times I remember was the bus going 20 miles down the road. We all had to get off because it overheated. Then we'd get back on. We'd drive 20 miles down the road. It would overheat again. I can't imagine what it's like to spend so much time not getting paid, by the way. You're getting paid, but you're not making any money. And then spending all that time trying to get to the level he's at now with the Cubs. That's a great thing. And, of course, Spencer Patton is a guy now up with the Cubs. He said he grew up a Cardinals fan, but he said it went out the window as soon as you get to the big leagues and somebody starts paying you. So that was great to have him here. Of course, a kid that pitched with Parkland So, and born in Urbana, went to school down in Southern Illinois for Rhina down at Kinmundy, but just a cool kid to have on. Sounds like he's really excited about this second half.
And he mentioned, I asked him, like, what's it like to be one of the last guys on a roster, right? I mean, and he said, I'm a yo-yo guy, right?
Huge.
I'm probably going to go back and forth here. But he said, Joe Madden, because last year when I came up, I was so worried about that. But Madden has kind of just said, be you.
Yep.
Be who you are, contribute in your way, and you might go back and forth. I'm not going to lie to you. You might go back and forth, but you can still help this team and help your career just by being who you are. And I thought that was pretty cool and shows what Joe Madden really does.
Well, right, and let's be honest, Spencer Patton right now is trying out a little bit for that 40-man expanded roster, right? When it happens later in the season, or is it 40? Yeah. That expanded roster that at the very least he could be on this thing when the season closes for the Chicago Cubs, and what a special thing it would be. We all understand how special it would be if the Cubs could somehow win this World Series, but to have two guys, now I don't have any connection to Ben Zobrist from Eureka, but to have two guys, Patton and Zobrist, both from the state of Illinois, I don't know why that's a big deal to me, but it'd be kind of cool, especially with Spencer Patton, born right here in Urbana, if he was one of the kids that gets a ring in one of the finally, after 108 years, the Cubbies win a World Series. A lot of work to do before then, though.
We also talked with Mike Claiborne, KMOX, and the Cardinals broadcast crew. Asked him for a grade of the Cardinals, and he said C+. C+. And Carp and I did that exercise yesterday, and I think I said C or C+.
That's
I can't
fair.
remember. But yeah, I mean, they're not a good base running team.
No.
They're not a good defensing team.
No.
And for all the Cardinals fans that are laughing at Jason Hayward's average, those are two things he did really well.
He did.
And that's why he was very valuable. But obviously this team, I think, has underachieved for its roster, given that I think the pitching is better than this.
Agree.
But they have had injuries. The offense has been probably better than we thought it would be.
Without a doubt.
But the pitching staff's got to get right.
Yeah, and the power. I think the best way for me to describe it is they've kind of just kept their head above water. They're kind of that guy in the deep end that's just kind of keeping his head above water until somebody can come help him. And I don't know who's going to be helping the Cardinals in the second half of the season. I would like to think their pitching is going to get maybe not a lot better, but better. And, Carlos Martinez is showing flashes. Michael Wacha starting to show flashes. I never know about Jaime Garcia. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that whole thing to be done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jaime. I know you've had your moments with the Cardinals, but you haven't had enough big moments. I'm ready for that to be done. And then, of course, some consistency among that offense with regards to scoring 12 one night and 2 the next. But still, you cannot rip on the offense. And, of course, the bullpen, which has been such a solid thing for the Cardinals, especially at the back end, all these years, and now you've got a little bit of some frustration at the back end. So I think some questions need to be answered. That it's going to heat up in St. Louis, and I always say when it heats up, the Cardinals will heat up. Yep. I think they'll be better in the second half, but I would agree with the C grade on that St. Louis Cardinals squad.
That's Drive Time presented by Honda BMW Champaign. For new and used vehicles, stop by Honda BMW Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy, or visit online at drivechampaign.com.
All right, when we return, you'll hear the updates, and then we'll do Ask Jay. Jeremy will answer all of your Illinois questions. You can send those to the Chief Bauer text line. That's 359-2255. You can also tweet Jeremy. It's at J Werner Scout. If you're bored, you could just tweet me at Lonte ESPNCU. Ask Jay is next. It's the Tay and J Show.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat. Here's Sarah Spain.
On Monday, Tim Duncan quietly announced that he's retiring from the NBA. No flashy year-long retirement tour, no big news conference, just a press release. Of course, since Duncan didn't want to speak to the media about his decision, his other half, Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, did. On Tuesday, Pop held court in San Antonio, speaking on behalf of Duncan while wearing a t-shirt with Duncan's photo on it. Pop attributed all of his success in the league to having Duncan by his side. The two won 1,001 games together, more than any other coach-player duo in NBA history. I'm trying to wrap my head around why I'm standing here and he's not, said Popovich. And we all know why. It's not Tim Duncan. We've been saying it for 19 years, and he really only cared about doing the best job he could basketball-wise and being who he was for his teammates and being somebody who loved his family. That's really who he is. And boy, did Duncan succeed at that. More on that after this.
Beating the heat. It's what summer's all about. And at AutoZone, we know that with your car's battery, it's not about staying cool. It's about staying tough. Heat causes battery fluid to evaporate, which corrodes your battery's insides. That's why Duralast batteries are designed and tested to start in extreme temperatures. How extreme? How does 167 degrees sound? So beat the summer heat with a battery that'll last. Get yourself a Duralast battery, sold only at AutoZone. Hoods up, America.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It starts with the tires. Add in the pilots.
San Francisco Tower, clear to land on 29er right.
Flight 232, clear to land 29er right.
150 sleepy passengers homeward bound. Descending through the clouds, flaps full, gear down. Runway in sight, where the rubber meets the road. And touching down, those Goodyear tires. Everything we learn making tires for commercial airliners inspires what we roll into yours. Go to Goodyear.com to find the right tire in store for you. Goodyear, more driven.
A 15-time All-Star, Duncan was voted regular season MVP twice and NBA Finals MVP 3 times. In his 19 seasons, he helped the Spurs to 5 championships and accumulated more total wins than 6 NBA teams. He retires as one of just 2 players in NBA history to record at least 26,000 points, 15,000 rebounds, and 3,000 blocks. Duncan didn't let many people in, but boy do the people that know him love him. Popovich, a man who's known to appreciate a good meal and a good wine, said on Tuesday, "You know how everybody talks about who they'd like to eat dinner with?" And then Pop rattled off a few names: Mother Teresa, Jesus, the Dalai Lama. "I can honestly tell you," he continued, choking up as he talked, "my dinner would be with Tim Duncan, because he is the most real, consistent, true person I've ever met in my life." With the ESPN...
Hello, this is Shane Coulter of Country Arbors Nursery. Country Arbors Nursery is the area's largest seller of plants, mulch, and landscape rock, and right now we're having our biggest sale of the year. All spring annuals are 50% off. 4-inch coleus, petunia, and geraniums are just $1, and all perennials are 10% off. Maples, oaks, and tree service berries are 20% off. While others are clearing the shelves, we're restocking daily with more beautiful plants. And now they're all on sale and the best prices of the year. So come out to Country Arbors Nursery. We're in Urbana on Windsor Road. You can find out more information and directions at countryarbors.com.
Join the 2016 Champaign County Fair for live music Thursday, July 28th from Granger Smith. It's Granger Smith live in concert at the 2016 Champaign County Fair. Buy your tickets now to see Granger Smith at ChampaignCountyFair.cc. It's Granger Smith live in concert at the Champaign County Fair, Thursday, July 28th, with special guest Dylan Scott.
As long as you're crazy over me. Stars and stripes flying high off of the back of my truck. Of course it's 4x4.
Granger Smith, Earl Dibbles Jr., and special guest Dylan Scott, Thursday, July 28th at the Champaign County Fair. Tickets are on sale now at ChampaignCountyFair.cc. Go to ChampaignCountyFair.cc to buy your tickets. Don't miss this show. Tickets available at ChampaignCountyFair.cc.
U of I Community Credit Union for campus and community.
The U of I Community Credit Union family wants to help your family reach their goals. Our family knows it's all about our beautiful campus and growing our community because we live and work here just like you.
Hi, I'm Rodney, and I've been part of the credit union family for 7 years.
Hi, I'm Erin, and I've been part of the credit union family for 8 years.
Come see us at the U of I Community Credit Union First Street branch in Champaign.
Become a part of our family. The U of I Community Credit Union, where you and I reach goals together. Visit the U of I Community Credit Union online at uoficreditunion.org.
Live, work, or study in Champaign County? You should bank with the U of I Community Credit Union.
U of I Community Credit Union for campus and community.
Hi, I'm Joan London. When I needed to find senior care for my mom, I really struggled to find the right fit until I found an advisor, someone who had been through this before. That's why I recommend A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. They have experts who will help you ask the right questions and find the right place. Call A Place for Mom today.
To speak with a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-467-7530. That's 1-800-467-7530.
A Place for Mom has helped over 200,000 families find the right senior care for their parents, from assisted living to independent living, even Alzheimer's care, and have local advisors that can help explain your options at no cost to you.
To speak with a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-467-7530. That's 1-800-467-7530.
Call today.
Check out the new Honda BMW of Champaign, formerly Twin City Honda BMW and still located in Savoy. These guys are crazy for used vehicles. Truckloads of pre-owned vehicles, 25 to 50% off the price of a similar new model. And not just Hondas and BMWs, cars, pickup trucks, and SUVs of all makes. Financing options on used cars as low as 1.9%. Just drive by Honda BMW of Champaign and you'll see from the street that this is a new dealership. Honda BMW of Champaign, online at drivechampaign.com. Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It's time for the update. Today is no sports day except for one UFC fight and some soccer. Otherwise, there are no live major sporting events. So, to fill the void, the ESPY Sports Awards are tonight live in Los Angeles. Deflategate isn't over. The case of Tom Brady deflating footballs in the AFC Championship game back in the spring of 2015 is now on day 542. Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphrey's marriage lasted 72 days, and the divorce was finalized after 536. Today it was announced Brady's 4-game suspension that was planned for last year before being overturned will be upheld in the 2016 season following a denial appeal in court. Former Eastern Illinois quarterback and Arlington Heights native Jimmy Garoppolo will get the starting role in Brady's absence. Brady's only course of action left is to take the case all the way to the Supreme Court. MLB, the AL won last night's All-Star Game 4-2, but the score ended up being Royals 4, Cubs 1. Chris Bryant slugged a homer off Chris Sale on the first pitch he saw for the first run of the game, a pitch that reportedly might have been grooved. According to ESPN Cub beat reporter Jesse Rogers, Chris's dad Mike ran into Sale 2 days before the game and told him, "Stop striking out my kid. Give him something to hit, a nice cookie or something." Sale didn't affirm or deny anything, but he said it's third batter of the game. We throw first pitch fastball. We didn't look at scouting reports or anything like that. The second inning, Royals' Eric Hosmer and Salvador Perez knocked homers off the Giants' Johnny Cueto and propelled the AL to a 3-1 lead. They never looked back, and Hosmer added another RBI single in the later innings to earn himself the All-Star Game MVP. For his reward, Hosmer got the choice between a Chevy truck or a Camaro. He took the truck.
Yes, he did.
And gave it to his dad so his dad would stop stealing all his cars. Papa Hosmer said this after the game. He had a Ford F-150 Harley Davidson. He left it at home one year, and he never got it back. Bad news for Cub fans. Noah Syndergaard, he'll start after the All-Star break, so no dodging him. 5:30 Sports Center.
Thank you, Nathan. Ask Jay is coming up, but I want to tell you this. Now that your crop is knee-high, well, that's been like that for a while. What's next? Grow your farm forward with help from Busey Ag Services and Farm Brokerage. They provide a full range of products and services to meet your agriculture needs. Whether you need a loan for production expenses or to purchase land and equipment, Busey provides lending solutions. Also, the real estate brokerage firm can assist with the sale or purchase of properties, market analysis, and market studies. Busey is a name you can trust. They've been serving farmers, Jeremy, for nearly 150 years, 100,000 plus acres under management. Partner with a team whose roots run deep. I get it. Busey's Ag Services and Farm Brokerage teams have the resources you need to grow forward. Just give them a call, 1-800-67-BUSEY, or visit Busey.com today.
It is the Tay and J Show. He's Lante. I'm Jeremy Warner. We'll keep taking your Ask Jay questions at 217-359-2255. You can text those at 359-2255, or you can tweet me at JWarnerScout. Obviously, a lot of Illini talk this week with the Jeremiah Tillman commitment, and we'll do more of it with Ask Jay.
Can we get something out of the way early, though?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Tillman's name is spelled Tilmon.
Yes.
Now, I'm not ripping on anybody that's texting in that, because I myself, until 2 days ago, spelled it whenever I emailed a buddy or any of that stuff, Tilman. Yeah. But it's Tilmon.
You might want to get that right before he gets to campus.
Right. I'm just this is a community service statement for every Illinois basketball fan out there.
Was there a certain
and it's
name?
Not Josh.
Was there a certain name that you really struggled with the most? Like for me, getting Nana Egwu right for the longest time.
Right. Well, I never knew if it was Nana or Nana.
Well,
I still don't.
For the longest time, I didn't know there was I knew there was a double N at the end of his name.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a double N at the beginning of his name.
Well, and you have to
I needed to write that stuff, so I screwed it up so many times in like 2009 when they were recruiting him.
I just have to say it.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
the only time I'm emailing this.
Everyone calls him Nana.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Nana
just getting
or
the
Nana,
pronunciation.
I agree.
right.
Now, I feel bad for all the people that had to spell Chukadebe back in the day.
You know who might have the hardest name?
Chukadebe.
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, because is it D-E?
No.
No, it's D-W-Y.
Yes.
A-N-E.
Yes.
Which is weird.
D-W-I or Y-A-N-E.
See, that's like my aunt is Marilyn.
Yeah.
I've never been able to spell that. Or Belinda. I never know where the Y and the I go, and it just confuses me.
Yeah, the only reason Dwayne Wade I kind of know now is because it is so weird.
Right.
But most people spell Dwayne Wade completely wrong.
L-O-N-T-A-Y. That's as easy as it gets.
All right, it is time for Ask Jay. I answer your Illini questions. You can still send them in 217-359-2255 on the Chief Bauer text line.
Let me ask you something. Ask him questions. Ask him rhetorical questions. Doesn't matter. Anything.
You want answers?
Yeah.
I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Rest, Neil. The answers are coming.
All right, we actually have some non-Illini questions later if you want to take
Sure.
them. Okay. Jeremy is he's able to do that stuff. So if you have questions, again, 359-2255. We're going to start with Zach in Danville, who is speaking for every Illini fan out there. When is Goodwin committing? We need more good news.
Armin also asked, any date for Goodwin decision? What are the chances of, and he asked about Tim Finke too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with Jordan Goodwin.
Okay.
Jordan Goodwin wants to play out July.
Right.
He's wanted to, at least. He wants to get more offers.
Mm-hmm.
There are more offers that he wants, and it's all about respect for him.
Fair
he
enough.
thinks he's one of the best players in the country, and he wants the offers to reflect that. Now, with everyone kind of thinking that Jordan Tillman and Illinois are pretty close, or that Michigan State and Northwestern and some of these other programs like Texas have a better chance, and that this recruitment might be too late to get into.
Right.
He might struggle to get some of those offers at this point. But the Jeremiah Tillman commitment obviously opens his eyes.
Sure.
And says, okay, Jeremiah actually did it. That's probably, I can win there.
Right.
And that's what he wants to do. He wants to win. It's a culture of winning. He's the culture changer for Illinois, and I think he sees that he can do that here at Illinois. And give credit to John Gross and that staff. They've developed that relationship so well.
Sure.
I don't think we're sitting here like, be on commitment watch today, tomorrow, next day. But I think the end of this month, after all that, the July period's over, I think you could be looking at a kid who might be ready to make up his mind.
I'm ready now. I'm on watch alert now, so I'll take now. I'll take the shift now.
Maybe he wants Jeremiah Tillman to have a little more
that's true.
Space here where people can celebrate him.
Oh, isn't that nice?
But no, we're focused on Jordan Goodwin. Tillman's old news. Let's get Goodwin.
How about Tim Finke? The chance? Well, hold on before I do that. Lon and Philo. 90% chance you're going to go? I know you love those questions. I'm 99 right now.
I'd say you'd feel pretty good.
Okay.
You feel pretty good right
Good
now.
enough. How about Tim Finke? That's what he asked.
Tim Finke's different than his brother.
Remember Armin Kantayan? Is he still doing? He's a good reporter.
ESPN?
Yeah, he was ESPN and like CBS or something.
Yeah,
Armin Kantayan.
So Armin asked, what are the chances of landing Tim
Sorry,
Finke?
I just had a squirrel
the
moment.
2018 prospect. Well, Finke's different than his brother Michael. He did grow up an Illini fan. His parents went to Illinois, just like Michael's parents, right? But Tim Finke's a different kind of player.
Okay.
Tim Finke's got way more interest. He's got way more offers than Michael ever had.
Yes.
Michael wanted to end his recruitment pretty early.
Mm-hmm. He did.
Tim wants to see the process through. And I think what's really important for Tim Finke is style of play.
Okay.
He's an off guard. He's a wing. And I think style of play, like coming off screens, that's really important to him.
Yes.
John Gross runs all the ball screens, right?
Right.
Is that the right fit for him?
Okay.
I think Illinois will be in it until the end. But I think this is going to be a tougher recruitment than just, his dad went there, his brother went there, so he's going to go there.
Fair enough.
There are different things that Tim wants, and I think there are other things that he's looking for that his brother maybe wasn't looking at. So I think Illinois will be there till the end. I think they'll be one of the major players in that. But a school like Notre Dame, a school like Ohio State, I think those are really interesting schools for him, and I don't think they'll be the last ones to offer.
We just had one come in on the Chief Bauer text line. Speak, Lon. Does Tim Finke value playing with his brother?
I think you'd like that.
Yeah, I'm sure
they've
he would.
never played together. They would play together for 1 year.
Right.
But you also got to consider for Tim, and I'm not trying to give him a sell of not going to Illinois, but if you get Jordan Goodwin, and you have Javon Pickett and DeMonte Williams, and Jalen Coleman-Lands, and all these wings, Kipper Nichols,
right?
Where's the playing time?
Fair enough.
And maybe he's better than some of those guys, and maybe he can beat them. But he's only a year younger than Goodwin and some of these main guys who will be your go-to guys. So that's something else to consider with that. So yeah, I think he'd love to play with his brother for a year. But is that the most important thing to him?
Okay,
I doubt it.
Ripping along with Ask Jay, Marcus in Colorado. Should the Illini be going after a big man in 2017? If Tillman gets hurt, no one else can play the 5. I continue to hear we need another point guard, which that would be nice, but we could get that in 18.
Well, in 2017-18, which is a year from now, you'd be going in with Jeremiah Tillman as your center, Michael Finke and LaRon Black as your forwards.
Okay.
And they can play some 5 as well, I think. I think that's fine for your 5s. And both those guys still have 2 more years, right? LaRon Black and Michael Finke would both have 2 years. You could play Kipper Nichols or DJ Williams at the 4. Yes, I think you'd like another powerful, an athletic rim protecting big, and I think in the future you really need a big.
Right.
But for me, in the 2017 class, I think point guard's a bigger need.
Okay.
Because we've seen Illinois, with only 1 point guard. We've seen Illinois with no point guards.
Yep.
We've seen Illinois get their point guard hurt.
I remember.
What if Tijon Lucas got hurt?
Oh, stop.
And is Tijon Lucas ready for 30 minutes a game as a sophomore? I get it. Illinois is wing heavy and you'd like more bigs, but for me, I'd rather have a point guard in college basketball than another
100%.
Athletic power forward. So for me, the point guard would be the priority. But I understand, if you can get a Mayan Kier at that level of big man, yes, you add him.
Sure.
I don't care what 2018 is. If you can add talent, I'll let class balance suffer a little bit.
Like it.
Plus, there's always attrition, and there can be more scholarships that open up. We never think about that, right?
Some dude named Brad asks, if you had to buy stock in one program, Illini football or Illini basketball, who you got?
Oh, a month ago I would have said football.
Right.
I'll say basketball.
I would too.
I think more likely to contend for a Big Ten title.
It's just easy. It's easier, number one, right?
Yeah, it's easier to turn a program around, and there's a clearer path to success. Now, if 2017 Illinois lands a top 25 class, but it's still so far down the road for me.
Right.
I still think you're 3 years from competing at that top level.
Fair enough.
For Illinois football. So basketball, if you got Tillman, Goodwin, Trent Frazier, I think you'd be, in 2 years from now, one of the Big Ten title contenders. So right now, yeah, I definitely take stock in Illinois basketball. And it's amazing how 1 week can change that, right?
It's crazy. A 708 texter asked, has gross job security increased at all by getting Tillman?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the first step. Get Tillman, get Goodwin, win games. That's what it takes. I mean, you got to have hope for the future, and he's provided that with Tillman. And if you get Goodwin, it obviously does that.
It's huge.
At some point, you have to win games.
Yeah.
And this roster is good enough to make the NCAA tournament. And if he doesn't make the NCAA tournament or he just misses it, maybe we have that hypothetical that everyone's talking about. Is does he come back?
Right.
But I think he will make the NCAA tournament. I think he will be back. But yes, getting Tillman is the first step in doing that. Remember, we had a checklist?
Yep.
It's, get recruiting class, win games, make the NCAA tournament, and stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Those are the biggest things.
It would be interesting to look back in 10 years and Illinois basketball's rolling again under John Gross.
Right.
And you think back to those tumultuous couple of seasons where you almost got rid of him. Maybe no, they didn't almost get rid of him, but for us.
What made this so unclean, and I think we did a good job of this, Lon, because there were so many people saying, fire him.
Yeah.
This has been unclean the entire time because he's been the unluckiest coach I've ever seen.
True.
Right?
True.
I mean, with all these injuries, with anything that could go wrong has gone wrong. Finally, he's getting some things to go his way a little bit. That mattered.
Right.
That mattered. All that, and he made mistakes with the transfers and some other things, but he is so unlucky.
Sure.
And you got to be kidding yourself if that didn't matter in evaluating his time here.
I agree. Fair enough. All right. Dave asks, can Lon say the word Gemini? Gemini? And then he says, next Illini program to win a national title. If golf is too easy, how about the next most likely program after that? I've got one for you.
Okay, golf. I'd probably say men's gymnastics.
Yeah.
Because they're one of 16 teams and they're really good.
Yes, they are.
And then probably volleyball.
Okay. That's true. Have you seen the recruits Brad Dancer is bringing in from men's tennis?
That's a good call.
Man, he's got three top 20 recruits coming in, along with Vukic, who will be a junior.
So would you buy more in tennis than volleybable? I think I would.
Yes, I would.
You're right. I definitely would.
I think Dancer's this thing's going to continue to pop because they've got the younger Hiltzik and also Vukic.
Yep.
And then you bringing in 3 top 25 guys. That's
a good call, Tay.
Look out, Mike Small.
I like it.
Look out, Brad Dancer.
What if someone beat Small to the championship? That would seem so cruel, wouldn't it?
It would.
It'd be great.
Right. Well, we'd all be excited.
It would seem so cruel.
Mike Small would be excited, but it would be cruel. All right, Cliff and Urbana wanted to save this for Tay's Take, but since that segment is absent, I'll ask now of both of you.
Well, we were going to do Tay's Take.
Yeah.
We didn't expect you to be here.
I did not. My Andrew had a game tonight at 6 o'clock in Paris, but since we get 15 inches of rain every day, it's been canceled.
You were going to be gone by now, so we just had planned. Ask Jay. Maybe we'll do Tay's Take tomorrow.
Maybe we'll do, but although the game's tomorrow night now, and I may not be here, so I don't know. Who knows?
Schedule, man.
I know these stinking kids. You sure you want Torrin?
Yes, I
keep him in there. All right, but now here's what he wanted to ask. When is a U of I recruit going to announce his commitment in studio / on location while on the Tay and J Show, and who will it be? Not named Andrew Tay. I love this because I've always thought of this. There's 2 things I've always thought of. Number one, I wish an area athlete out there, a high school athlete, when they get let's say basketball, here's the all-area News Gazette basketball players of the year, and they list 12 of them.
Yeah.
I want one of them one time to stink and say they listen to the Tay and J Show. That's all I want. Just one of them to say some of your interests, Tay and J Show.
Ooh.
So if anybody out there, girl or boy, wants to do that.
Would our competitors put that in the newspaper?
No, you know what? They might not. You know what? Maybe they've been answering that.
I'd put it if they wanted it. Whatever.
Exactly. How about Tim Finke coming on here and saying University of Illinois? Like in a Tom Cruise way.
I don't know if he'd do it if he'd go elsewhere, though.
No, I don't know.
I mean, I'd totally support Tim.
You'd have
doing
to
that
lock the door. Yeah, right.
It'd probably be a local kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd have to be because we can't get a Chicago kid or St. Louis kid up here.
That'd be kind of neat.
It would be.
Like Jimmy Fitzgerald could have done it.
Yes.
Jimmy Fitzgerald could have done that.
A football player. There's a couple good Centennial kids. I don't know about Illinois level, but there's a couple good Centennial kids right now.
Yeah. Listen, if anybody wants to come on and announce where they're going, we're here for you.
Yeah, there you go.
We have the platform.
I would say it probably has to be high Division I level.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Right?
No, right. Yeah,
not the rest of you guys don't matter.
No.
I'm just our listeners.
Correct.
Otherwise, we might get a bunch of kids coming on here.
That's exactly right. All right, we're going to go off Illinois topic for a minute. 217, use your name. I'll call you Bob. Do the Cubs need Andrew Miller or Aroldis Chapman to win in the playoffs?
They don't need them, but they could sure use them.
Sure.
I'd love Andrew Miller. Aroldis Chapman's really, really good.
Yeah, he is.
But Andrew Miller for 2.5 years, that's I love him kind of fitting into that window, and I'd give up a pretty good prospect for Andrew Miller. I'm not saying Schwarber or anybody at the major league level, but if we're talking Ian Happ, Jorge Soler, I would give up, Gleyber Torres. I'm saying one of those guys is the main package. I'd do that for 2.5 years of Andrew Miller.
All right, another 217. We'll call you Dave. How do you feel about having recently retired baseball players in the All-Star game? Jeter, Vlad, Guerrero. What does he mean? 217
texter, thanks for texting in, but that makes no sense.
Right.
Why would you want old guys? Maybe we can have old timers All-Star game as part of the week.
That'd be kind of cool.
I wouldn't watch it.
They're not going to want to do that.
Yeah. Jeter, Vlad, Guerrero.
No, they're not going to want to do that.
No.
All right. Well,
I don't like it. I do not like it.
I don't either, and I don't really understand it. All right. That is Ask Jay. We do it,
sometimes.
Listen, this
less
is
frequently during the summer.
Right. Time of the year in the summer where sometimes we're here, sometimes we're not.
If you want to weigh in, you can. You call us on the Jupiter's Crossing phone line or text the Cheap Hour text line 217-359-2255. That's 359-2255.
All right. We're back to wrap this puppy up.
Poor puppy.
It's the Tay and J Show.
Nobody plays more country music per hour than US 105.9, where they start every workday with 3 hours of continuous country. US 105.9 is a proud sister station to ESPN Radio 93.5.
It seems like in every home, there's at least one room that's either too hot or too cold. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Mitsubishi Electric has your comfort solution. Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating systems are up to 40% more efficient with no ductwork and whisper quiet. Individual room control, giving you the freedom to find your perfect comfort level and save money too. Make your whole home comfortable again. See Lance Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for your comfort solution and live better.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Lands is your local Mitsubishi electric diamond dealer. Our technicians are experts at solving your comfort needs, one room or your whole house. Let us show you how a Mitsubishi electric heating and cooling system can save you money now. Your comfort is our priority. Call Lands today at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
This August,
another strong finish by Phelps.
for the first time ever,
And it's a Gabby goal.
the spirit of the Olympic Games comes to life
Usain Bolt still the king of the 100.
in one of the world's most dazzling cities, Rio. The one event that unites the world. The 2016 Olympic Games from Rio, beginning August 5th on NBC.
Love to sing? Join the Champaign Center Partnership and the Urbana Business Association July 21st for the Sing for Your City Karaoke Contest. Sponsored by Cafe Bene and hosted by the Canopy Club. Sing your heart out and represent your city for a chance to win a cash prize. Don't sing? Join in on the fun by cheering on your favorite local performer. Pre-register at urbanabusiness.com for only $15 or register at the door for just $20. Represent your side of Wright Street to win cash. Must be 18 to enter and 21 to drink.
Brick's Wood-Fired Pizza in Champaign isn't your typical pizza joint. Their dough is made fresh daily, only with the best ingredients, sauce, and cheese. Stop into Brick's for their daily lunch special. A half pizza with your choice of salad or soup for just $7.95. With gluten-free and vegan options, Brick's has pizzas to satisfy anyone's taste buds. Brick's also has hot and made-to-order sandwiches along with freshly made salads and pastas. For dinner, make it Brick's Wood-Fired Pizza at the corner of Neal and Devonshire in Champaign.
Your local independent Pekin insurance agent is part of your hometown. They're your friends and neighbors. They know you and your community. So when it comes to the right insurance coverage at the right price, you'll want to talk with the folks you can trust. Ask your local Pekin insurance agent about the affordable insurance coverage for your car, your home, your business, and your family. They'll help you protect what matters most. And you can always count on beyond the expected service and coverage from Pekin Insurance. To find an agent near you, visit www.pekininsurance.com.
When your car breaks down, you realize just how much you need it. And when it breaks down, Beaumont Alignment Plus steps up. For routine maintenance like brakes, oil changes, tune-ups, batteries, and tires, you can count on Beaumont Alignment Plus. Bigger issues including alignment, suspension work, starters, alternators, transmission requires specialists. So get to know Beaumont Alignment Plus for your vehicle repairs. With locations on Bloomington Road and Denison Drive in Champaign, you're never far from the help you need. It's good to know the quality service is still affordable at Beaumont Alignment Plus.
Experience what makes Eastland Suites the best.
Like options for families, including the biggest indoor pool in the area, arcade and Sarisa pizza pies in the lobby.
Families that stay with us also love the free Wi-Fi to keep the kids entertained and the fitness center to keep us parents in shape.
And Tanya, don't forget we have meeting space available for social events. Oh, and being right off the interstate. Complimentary hot breakfast each morning and...
Experience the best. Experience Eastland Suites. Book online at eastlandsuitesurbana.com.
The Snyder Company.
Join the Women's Business Council for their Roaring 20s themed party, Juice the Joint, at Jupiter's at the Crossing on Saturday, July 16th from 7 to 10, benefiting Salt and Light Ministries. This is the Cat's Meow of events, and you will not want to miss it. Juice the Joint will include casino tables, jazz and swing dancing, food and drinks, mug shots hosted by Stasky Photography, party raffles, including a Ford Escape thanks to Bill Smith Auto, Service King, and Dawn's 24-hour towing, a mattress and pillow set from Mattress Firm, and a 50-inch TV thanks to Steve Tarrant at State Farm, along with other great prizes. So pull out your flapper dress gangster gear, newsboy cap, or your vest for the best dressed costume contest. It's Juice the Joint with Women's Business Council, July 16th, benefiting Salt and Light Ministries. Brought to you in part by CleanRight, RSM Accounting Firm, ServiceMac, Roadmaster, and Prairie State Bank. Check out WBCCCC.org for tickets and enter into the Ford Escape car raffle in advance. That's WBCCC.org.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
All right, so one of our Chief Bauer texters is RPK, who lives down in Paris. And so last night, Andrew had a game down in Paris. They lost. Kudos to the Tigers. So now they got to play again because we were in the winner's bracket. And so when we got to Paris, 6 o'clock start, right? 6 o'clock start.
Mm-hmm.
I get there at 5. About 5:25, the skies open up for about 25 minutes.
And you and the weather hate each other. So.
We do. We are not friends.
No.
I've won one time in my life against the weather.
Which was?
I took a chance, I think, one time on a golf outing or something. And I'm like, nope, we're going to do this golf outing. I don't care if it's supposed to rain. We're going to do it. And it didn't rain that day. It was like 85 degrees. So I thought I won that day.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I tweet out, I'm always like, Mother Nature 258, Lante 1.
Right.
I mean, basically that's what it is. So we get all this rain. Well, Paris, down in Paris, they have this unbelievable field that can handle 2 inches of rain in 25 minutes. And by 8:30 we were playing.
Yeah.
But I just can't sit idle. So I'm like, you guys need any help? Like, they're out here with like leaf blowers and stuff trying to drive.
Nice.
It's so funny. And they're like, well, there's a squeegee over there if you want to grab it. So I went and grabbed it, and Ryan, or RPK, took a picture of me. I think you saw it.
Retweeted that.
I was sweating. I mean, it was manual work, and you'll notice I've got athletic tape on my thumb.
You do. You were struggling with it earlier.
I have a blister.
Oh, poor guy. Poor Lonnie.
You and I are just not, we're not workmanlike men.
No, we're not.
We're just not. Our hands are nice and pretty.
Hey, so the British Open starts tomorrow.
What?
This snuck up on me, man.
It does?
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yes.
Now, how's that even possible? Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yes, it starts tomorrow. It's July 14th through the 17th.
Well, now, wait a minute.
In Troon, Scotland.
I have never,
I know.
been.
Usually you're all over this.
I haven't even seen one ad. Have I not been watching TV lately?
I think it's on ESPN, isn't it?
I have not seen one ad.
Who do you think has the best odds?
In the British Open?
British Open.
Vuistesen.
No, don't think too hard.
Rory.
No, Jason Day.
Oh.
7-1 odds. He's the number one golfer in the world. Rory and Jordan Spieth, 8-1. Your boy.
Yeah.
Dustin Johnson, 12-1.
And then blew up last year.
You go all the way down to 20-1 for Adam Scott, 25-1 then for the group of Ricky Fowler, Sergio Garcia, Brendan Grace, and Justin Rose.
Golfer you would rather look like? Adam Scott? If you could look like any golfer.
That
dude. I think,
you going Adam Scott?
Yeah, he's pretty good looking. I mean, I think the women like Adam.
Dustin Johnson's a good looking man.
Dustin Johnson is a good looking dude.
He's tall.
And he's got Pauline, right?
Jason Day's a good looking man. Plus he has the accent. Do I get the accent with it?
Well, that's true. That does help. The accent helps.
I'd want to be tall, so I'm going Dustin Johnson.
Okay, that's fair enough. And plus, you can hit a ball like 400 yards.
I was expecting some real analysis there from Juan, who loves the British Open and loves
I'm not
loves
in the mood.
golf.
I'm not in the mood right now.
Golfer, I love that. I love that topic.
I'm just not in the mood right now for analysis. But no, I swear I did not realize the British Open was tomorrow. I did not see anything. Hey, I've got a show. You know, you and I every once in a while start just getting on shows and we watch them. Obviously, I was a big Sons of Anarchy. We were both Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Game of Thrones, huge for you. I've got to get this season now and watch it.
But you're 5 seasons in.
I'm 5 seasons in. There is a new show now out called Preacher.
Yes.
And
it looked really creepy to me.
Gave it a shot. Seth Rogen is one of the directors of this thing. So I gave it a shot. I love
Is it
this
really
show.
creepy?
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't.
No, it's not creepy. I don't think it's creepy.
It's weird.
It's weird. It's a weird show.
It's about a preacher, I'm guessing.
It is about a preacher. I don't want to give it away, but it's about a guy that grew up the son of a preacher, and then he found trouble.
Yes,
like he kind of lived the wrong
son
side
of a
life.
preacher man. Yes,
it's a son of. No, wait, I was going.
Son of a sailor.
I'm sorry, I was going son of a sailor with Buffett. But now he's like this preacher, and then he gets this special power where he can convince anybody to do whatever.
Huh.
So it's kind of cool.
That would be a dangerous power.
It's weird. It's a weird show. There's the Fighting Illini bus, kind of squirrel pulling into mire. But it's kind of a weird show, but I love it. I love it right now. So if anybody out there, give it a shot. I think it's $2.54, right? Is it AMC?
Yes.
So $2.54 DirecTV.
I'm afraid to start a new show.
Yeah.
With a baby on the way.
Ooh.
Right? Like, this is the time where you do start a new show.
Yeah, because you can sit up.
And the one I have to go back and watch, and I've been meaning to go back and watch, is The Wire. Which kind of started this all, right? Like, it's one of the originals of this kind of genre,
really
the golden era of TV, and I want to watch The Wire, but there's like 6 seasons of it, and it's going to take me forever to do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a good opportunity for me to do that.
Well, unless you're sitting up, like trying to get Tiff some rest, so maybe you sit with Torrin, and maybe he'll fall asleep on your lap.
Is that okay? Like, did you watch TV with Luke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like, 'cause a lot of times, like, let's face it.
Can I have headphones on while I'm looking at a baby?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, sure. And a lot then they'll fall asleep, and then you just kind of do whatever.
Okay.
Just throw them on the ground. You can't hurt them. Just dump them on the ground. They'll roll around a while, and they're good to go.
Yeah, The Wire's kind of that number one. I got to watch second season of Daredevil.
Yes.
The first season was really good.
Yep.
That's on Netflix.
That'd be cool. I think the History Channel, I'm not sure which. I came across it
That's not a word.
Across it the other day, and it's making of the mob.
Yeah.
And it's something about Al Capone. I just started watching that. See, the thing I've got to watch is Sopranos. I've never
watched The Sopranos.
I've never seen it either.
Carp is huge into it.
And I've had 100 people ask, or 100 people have told me you got to see The Sopranos.
Yeah.
So I got to do that one of these days. Listen, it's summer, and we're just talking about different
things. Have you watched House of Cards?
No, that's another one.
You need to suspend.
Who's in that?
It is. Oh, jeez.
Who's the main guy?
Kevin Spacey.
That's it. Kevin Spacey. That's the guy. Yeah, he's weird.
And Robin Wright.
Okay.
Robin Wright Penn, who you know from Forrest Gump.
Yes.
And all that.
Right.
It is phenomenal.
Is it good?
You got to suspend reality. It's not realistic
Fair
for the
enough.
most part, but it is fun television.
Okay.
And some of the things that happen, you kind of are seeing on the trail right now, the presidential trail right now.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of interesting. You can totally tell it's based on the Clintons.
Gotcha.
But it's phenomenal television.
I didn't know Hillary Clinton was in Springfield today.
She was?
Yeah. Did you know that?
She really doesn't need to do anything in this state. I guess she's raising money.
I mean, are you just wasting time in Illinois? Now, she was in Springfield, so now that I've given her 5 seconds, I don't know where Donald Trump was today.
No, but House of Cards, really good.
Okay,
I think it's interesting how, like, Netflix did this.
Yeah.
Netflix started producing its own TV shows.
That's pretty cool.
And how it's affect television.
Right.
Because they're really good TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And, Netflix started as this company that sent you DVDs in the mail, right?
Yep.
I used to have it.
Yep.
And now it's all about streaming online, how they kind of set the tone there, but how it's affected television because you don't have to watch commercials, don't have to do all that, and people are cutting the cord.
And isn't there another one? There's another one.
You got Hulu and Amazon Prime.
Hulu.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Hulu had a show that I would have been really interested in, and I don't remember what it was, but it's on Hulu. So I'm not going to go back and watch it, obviously.
Hey, thanks to our guest today, Spencer Patton, Cubs reliever.
How do I even get Hulu?
You got to buy it.
Oh, you got to buy it online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need Wi-Fi for that.
It's raining right now hard. It's raining everywhere in Illinois. I hate you, Mother Nature. I hate you. I hate you. I don't hate anything. Like, I don't get mad at you. Know this. You've known me for.
You get really perturbed.
I get so mad at weather.
You and Carp are so affected by the weather.
Right.
Like, my day doesn't change much.
No, I know.
You guys, your mood.
Well, the thing is, let's break it down. If I didn't have to do the radio show every day, then I wouldn't have to worry about weather and when, my boys played. But if I have to take a day off and let you guys know, all right, I'm taking this day off because Andrew's got a game, and then stinking Mother Nature comes in, I do get mad.
Juan hates his job. That's what he's saying.
I need a therapist.
Spencer Patton, Cubs reliever. He joined us in the first hour. Phenomenal conversation with him. Also, Mike Claiborne, KMOX, and the Cardinals broadcast crew. If you missed any of the show, get the podcast, espncu.com, or find us on iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS Insurance. We'll talk with Jeremiah Tillman's prep coach, Shane Hireman, tomorrow.
And if we're going to remember anything today, Illinois fans, what is it? Repeat after me. Tillman is spelled Tilmon.
You got it right.
Tilmon. See you tomorrow. Tay and J Show.
Hi, I'm Joan London. When I needed to find senior care for my mom, I really struggled to find the right fit until I found an advisor, someone who had been through this before. That's why I recommend A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. They have experts who will help you ask the right questions and find the right place. Call A Place for Mom today.
To speak with a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-467-7530. That's 1-800-467-7530.
A Place for Mom has helped over 200,000 families find the right senior care for their parents, from assisted living to independent living, even Alzheimer's care, and have local advisors that can help explain your options at no cost to you.
To speak with a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-467-7530. That's 1-800-467-7530.
Call today.
This is Chuck Lee with Provident Financial Group. Are you getting the attention you deserve from your broker? When you partner with Provident, you get an advisor who stays focused on you and your family. We work for you. Contact us today to schedule a consultation. Securities advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
Member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Santa here. I'm making a vacation stop in Champaign to attend Christmas in July at City View at the Illinois Terminal July 14th. It's a lot of fun. Catering from Dish, Passionate Cuisine, live band, silent auction, real snow. I'm even bringing a bag full of gifts. Tickets are only $35 a person. All proceeds support the Parade of Lights. Buy tickets online at ChampaignCenter.com. See you July 14th at the City View for Christmas in July.
Law Enforcement Official of the Month brought to you by SK Home Improvement. SK Fencing, Siding, Roofing, and more. Visit SKHomeImprovement.com. Champaign County Sheriff's Deputy Michael Wirtz says he stays busy at home.
We have 5 kids, my wife and I do, to raise them, trying to raise them, go through life and succeed, and then, sometimes fail, but fail with integrity and to learn from it. It's great to be able to try to help them and help them through those things and raise them the right way.
Deputy Wirtz says his faith is important.
I think it keeps me centered for sure. I think that's one of the biggest parts with my job, trying to treat others the way that I want to be treated, that golden rule. Every day somebody has a crisis, and there's different ways that you can help people, either at an accident or, somebody's loved one passed away, or helping them out when somebody stole their identity, any number of ways.
Congratulations, Champaign County Sheriff's Deputy Michael Wirtz, for being the Stevie J Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month. Live from the Habib BPC Studios, this is WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.